Do do do. Do 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 do. Mm-hmm.
Let's do this!
Be with you. We'll discuss a couple of points. We'll take some questions later if you'd like. I'm sure you might have one or two. I'd be shocked if you didn't. I'd be very impressed. But I'm honored to welcome one of the most accomplished business leaders of our time, the founder and CEO of SoftBank, everybody knows, Masayoshi Son. Masa runs one of the largest companies in Japan and among the most successful investment and technology companies anywhere in the world, one of the most successful investors in the world. And we've just concluded a very productive meeting, and today I'm thrilled to announce that SoftBank will be investing $100 billion in America, creating 100,000 American jobs at a minimum. And he's doing this because he feels very optimistic about our country since the election. And many other people are also coming in with tremendous amounts of money. You probably noticed that a poll was just taken. It's business is literally in 39 years, there's been nothing like it. It's been the biggest increase. Small business owners gave it a 41% jump. It's the biggest jump that we've had in 39 years.
Oh yeah.
And nobody's ever seen anything like it. And it's just they're very optimistic. This historic investment is a monumental demonstration of confidence in America's future, and it will help ensure that artificial intelligence, emerging technologies, and other industries of tomorrow are built, created, and grown right here in the USA. One of the beautiful things about Masa is he's very much involved with emerging technology, probably knows it maybe better than almost anybody. So it's a great honor. And
Well, that's why I got 3-4 AI stocks like SoundHound, who's blowing the fuck up. It's kind of nice.
some of you remember after the 2016 election, also SoftBank committed to invest $50 billion in our country, and they did. And I'm very pleased to say that they kept that promise in every way, shape, and form. And now they're looking to do 100. And I've looked at their books. They do have the possibility of doing more. I'm going to ask them to do a little bit more. But first, I'm going to ask him to speak and just to say a few words. Masa, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Sounds like you're saying, Master, please.
Thank you.
Master, please.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very excited. I would really like to celebrate the great victory of President Trump.
What's happening?
And
Not shit.
Same here.
Fucking keep just fucking with writing, basically.
Basically,
Like,
yeah.
dude, I so much fucking scattered shit.
Yeah, I know. ADD's a real thing.
Dude, I'm bad, dude. It's bad in me.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I pretty much have it too. You start like 88 projects, maybe you finish 2.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
Dude.
It's the same with me streaming. I gotta just try to remember. I guess I gotta keep doing it. Like, just keep doing it. Just pump the algorithm.
Yep.
It's one of those things. Like,
Pump,
even there's days
pump,
like I'm tired.
pump.
I'm like, you know what? Just do a little bit at least, so the algorithm sees that something's working. You know.
Somebody's gotta fucking come in here, dude.
I know. I'm surprised. Well, I guess it's not that late for a bill. I guess yet. No, I
Dude,
was
what's
just
even been going on lately in the world?
Huh?
What's even been going on lately in the world?
Well, I was just fucking. I was just listening to Trump's fucking speech from 2 days ago. I was only like 3 minutes into it, but I guess it's an hour and a half long. Seeing what kind of nonsense he's talking about now. Only thing he's talked about so far is he's talked to this Japanese dude. He's like, for the future of AI and this and this and this. So I don't know what he's gonna get into yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's probably gonna be anti-AI. It's 100% gonna be anti-AI. Like,
I would think so, but I mean, he's talking to this Japanese dude who's supposed to be like big into it, so maybe like he's gonna be like for certain like companies, like, oh, these 3 AI companies are awesome. The rest of them, they're all fucking traitors and snitches and shit. You know, I could see something
right.
like, I could see something like that happening. Like,
And he's gonna partner with I don't know. He's
Yeah.
gonna partner with somebody's AI. You know.
yeah,
He's
that's
gonna
what I'm
use
saying. Like
somebody's
3,
AI,
4
not
companies,
somebody
you'll love them. You're like, oh man, these are the greatest companies ever. The rest of them are dog shit.
Oh my god.
That's what I foresee. But I guess like I said, I just started listening to it. I haven't got all the way into it, but
Very Trump-like.
oh, for sure. Well, everything's bad except for when it's for him. Then it's good. Like I always tell people, like, remember how in 2020 that he wanted Pence to unilaterally vote for him, to be president. But it's like, if Kamala did it right now, I bet you guys are all not fans of it right now, huh? You don't want that power now, but when it was your side, of course you wanted the power. The irony. But yeah, it's supposed to be the whole transition thing. That's what I was listening to. I did some more notes. I'm about 16, 20 pages into the Mueller report and writing notes on that shit.
Oh right, yeah, dude, that's fucking nuts.
Well, yeah, man, it is kind of nuts when you actually like read fucking what's happening, dude. Like, there's all these people, all these Kremlin people meeting all of Trump's people. Only thing they say is that Trump's team didn't willingly and knowingly do it. They just did it because they're stupid. Like, work with Russia.
Wait, so it was in his like tower, right? There was like a meeting.
Well, there's a bunch of me. No,
It's
I
like
haven't gotten all the way
meetings?
into it. So far, I've gotten like to the backstory. So like, where I've gotten to, it's like, so starting 2016, George Papadopoulos met with Joseph Musov, who is has Russian connections. He meets with him, and then he tells him like, "Hey, man, Russia really wants you to win. We got dirt on Hillary that can fucking help you in this election." And it's like, "Oh, cool." Send it our way. And they never really do. So like, there's always like there's always like a little bit of room. That's why they couldn't convict anybody per se, because they kept enough room where they couldn't say they did it willingly again, but like they did though. They did all this shit. Then yeah, John Jr., Kushner, Manafort meet with fucking another Russian lawyer talking about the incriminating Clinton fucking the WikiLeaks files that all fucking got dumped down and shit like that. Like, they have all the dates: June 9th, 2016, July of 2016. The DNC fucking gets their shit leaked to WikiLeaks on July 22nd. There was 10,000 more fucking emails released and shit like that. It's just crazy. But like I said, all these people are meeting all these fucking Trump people. All the Trump people are meeting all the Russian people, and they think there's nothing like connected. It's just crazy.
Yeah, because it's like, as long as they have plausible deniability, with some kind of bullshit, it's like everybody sees it, everybody knows it's got to be this, but there's just, always some fucking bull. It's, I don't know. There's so much like, just denial in the face of like. I mean, I guess there's a lot of data there, but like just fucking the ability to deny because you weren't there or whatever,
Sure.
like that's what they fucking live off of like, that's what he lives off of like just.
So I think it's funny,
fucking
like,
doing.
so like when Biden gets money from somebody, like there could be like a 7-person trail, like this person got money, pass it to this person, which passed to this person, which passed to this person, then passed it to Biden. Like they'll connect all these 7, 8 dots to make it all fit, right?
Right.
But when there's like a direct, here's 1-to-1. Oh, that can't happen. It's like, how you cannot connect the 1 dot that connects everything, but you'll connect 6, 7 other ones to
It's
make
so
your story like
weird.
match. It's just like, okay. It's nuts.
It's so fucking weird.
Oh, I just got bad news. This one
Like-
chick that's a nurse, she can't do interviews. Apparently, it's against the law, or at least her union or whatever. That sucks.
Oh, I remember you talking. Yeah, the COVID chick,
yeah,
right?
I wanted
Like
to
you're
talk to her
gonna.
about COVID and just shit like that, to see how.
That's
but
fucking bullshit.
yeah, she's like, I'm actually not allowed to do any media interviews. We get in trouble, I'm guessing, if they find out. Sorry. I'm like, oh,
I mean, that's trash.
that is kind of
Like,
like what happened to freedom
what
of
the
speech?
fuck?
Like, to me,
I hate. the whole idea that freedom of speech, like some people think it shouldn't, or though they say it doesn't apply to things like social media, so like it's fine, like it only limits the government. Like, dude, fucking freedom of speech is good for a reason,
I
and that's
know.
to fucking
Technically, I mean, the
improve our
argument always is that
democracy.
it's individual company, so it doesn't have to, like a company can allow you to smoke weed, a company doesn't have to allow you, or lets you cannot, they have their own individual rules. So I mean, I get it to an extent, but yeah, it is silly, especially for an American company. But the thing is, like I said, I'm thinking this is like something with their union, with the nursing union, where you can't talk shit about like other doctors and shit. I don't know. That'd be
Oh,
my
right,
guess.
right, yeah, I guess, yeah,
That's the only
that's
thing I can think of. Like, like, hey, what do you think of COVID? Like, dude, it was all bullshit, or if it was all, like some big news. Like, what? They don't want that shit out, I guess, unless you're.
the fact that like the left use the argument of like no free speech doesn't apply to Twitter or anything like that. Like freedom, like they can censor whatever the fuck they want because it's their property. That was fucking weird as shit to me. Like
It is weird, but
it's
like I
like
said, it technically,
people
but it's a law though. Like the freedom
right,
of
right, right, but usually it's the conservatives using the law to fucking
oh, I know, bending or whatever they'll
defend
call it.
like yeah, like they don't bend the fucking law to justify that, or they, you know what I mean. You know
Yeah,
what the fuck I mean.
well, I gotta tell people, there's a lot of retards on the left too.
Flips.
Like the people
It
that are
flips.
super extreme and shit, dude. Fuck that. That's the things that
I didn't. Well, what makes the difference between like there's a line where there is legitimate wokeness, and then there's a line where it's just
yeah.
conservatives fucking
It comes. I mean, some
labeling,
of it's like if you can
giving
tell someone's
attention.
joking about something and you take it like dead ass serious, like okay,
Yeah,
bro, like you're going too far. Or like I'm saying, like the BLM movement's fine, but burning down cities, that's retarded. Like that's too far. Like that's too because the people doing it are the extreme left. They're not like I said, the people that rioted or whatever the first 2 days they did nothing. It was when the out of city stupid people came in. That's when shit blows up. But I don't know.
yeah, that is weird. I
Because they
I'd
don't
like to
care
look
about
at like all the evidence
because they don't
regarding
care
like
about the
where
community.
people are
Like
from.
if you're not from Minnesota, why would you care if Minnesota burns down? Or if you're not from Wisconsin, you don't care if Wisconsin burns down. You're just there to make mayhem.
That's so
I feel
weird.
like
Like
that's some people's
how long
mindsets.
after George Floyd did shit start to go down? Like how long did that shit take? Like these people fucking
That same
drove
day.
out
Well, like I said, for like
to Minnesota.
a day or two after that shit, there was like just people, protesting, whatever, right? But it was about the second. It was either the second or third day when all the people from around the world came in, and that's when all of our shit got blown the fuck up.
Okay, yeah, like police station burning down and shit,
Mhm.
dude. Fuck.
But yeah,
Wait, didn't that when Wendy's or whatever get burned down in
there was like,
Wisconsin? That one guy
oh yeah,
or
fucking
some?
Jacob Blake
Yeah,
shit. Yeah,
yeah,
there was a
yep,
car lot.
dude.
There was a couple things that burned down. Yeah, just dumb.
So much went down, dude.
Yeah, but like I'm saying,
I
like
mean,
the people burning shit down. That's the extreme left. That's nonsense. Like you've taken it too far, bro. I get the point. Like I always say I get your gripe, but
but here's the
you're not
thing
gonna win
though,
people over
like
that way.
I don't know though. I don't know. It depends on who's like in charge of this shit and whether I don't know. It's hard to
Well,
say
I try to
sometimes.
I
Like
try to
what
believe
the
like
overall
if
effect
you
is.
force people to do something with violence in general, even if they listen to you, it's not
Well,
because
they
they
have a
want to.
pretext to fucking demonize you. Yeah.
Well, just
So
in
it's
general,
like,
even if they listen to you, it's not like they. It's not. You didn't win them over ideologically, which means there will always be resistance. You got to win people over with actual like thoughts and idea and logic and shit. Like that's how you actually win people over to your side, like full
it's
fledged.
kind of weird to me how we have not had any kind of like civil disobedience type shit. Any kind of like nonviolent protest that could actually be like transformational. Like
Maybe. Well, so I think the left right now is trying to overly not do anything crazy right now because they complain like they should have. They complained about 2020 and the Republicans saying it was rigged and all this bullshit for 4 or 5 years. I think they're trying to be like, we can't do this because if we do, then it just takes away everything we've been saying for the last 4 or 5 years. Because if we start saying that this
Mhm.
election is rigged, well, guess what? Now, when you said the other one wasn't, whatever, it's all fucking. You're a hypocrite. So I think that's
Yeah.
part. I think that's part of the reason why like nobody's being like, oh, this shit's fucking rigged or we should go crazy and stuff. It's like no, We've been telling people not to do that for 4 years. We're trying to be better, lead by example kind of shit. So, I don't know.
I guess
It's not necessarily right or wrong, but it's just the way it is, I suppose. I don't know. I don't want violence. Like I said, we gotta win we gotta win the idea war. That's the whole thing. It's misinformation in general. Like I said, that's the big thing. But
right, and these people have no fucking accountability for.
did you see my thread that I fucking tagged you in?
We're at
On Facebook. I after I got done arguing with this dude for like a day or two, I fucking tagged it at the end. I'm like, look at this dude I have to fucking talk to. This guy was fucking. So it started with fucking like trans and black people, right? So it was basically the meme said like it's not about bathrooms, same as it wasn't about water fountains. It's just how it is. You're racist or you're trans. That's transphobic. That's why you're fucking against it. It's not about the water fountains. It's not about separate but equal. It's this. So we started arguing about that forever, and then it just kept going and going and going. And then I found out he was fucking pro-Russia. So I just fucking started talking hella shit. I'm like, he honestly thinks that Russia is better than America in like every way, and that Russia
that's so
doesn't.
fucking weird.
And Russia does
Russia's
no wrong.
Trash, dude. Russia's
know.
like, they're like fucking. I don't even know. They're like fucking just scumbag. Fucking. I don't even know, man.
Well, they're led by a dictator. Like I was telling him, like, isn't it weird that like, oh my god, I kept trying to tell him, like, you're talking right now shit about your country. If you did that in Russia right now, there's a chance you go to jail. Like, just little things like that. You're doing something right now that you can't do there. That's fucking. And you're gonna tell me they're better. And then like he keeps talking about how we keep overthrowing governments which is true. Like I try to preface like you're right. I'm not trying to argue that per se. It has happened, but like in all these proxy wars, who is America fighting? Like when we fight over Afghanistan, who are we fighting? We're not just fighting ourselves. Right. We're fighting Russia proxies. Like we're always fighting Russia for all these countries, in proxy wars. It's not right or wrong, but that's what it is. So you think that we don't fucking keep continuously fighting Russia? We've been doing it forever.
How close are China and Russia now?
How
close are China and Russia now?
Semi. The thing is, I think China, so ideologically, they agree with them, but they can't fuck with America. They know they can't fuck with us militarily, and we make them so much money for their money, or, their economy in general, they can't ruin that. So I don't think they will ever full-fledged join. They might like Black Ops kind of help them, like CIA, whatever their version of CIA shit is, So they might help them, but they can't openly do it because they rely on America so much for all their money and all their shit. They can't ruin that. So
I'm not sure how quote unquote evil China actually is, like if it's just
they're kind of a dictator, so that's never good. I'm against dictators because that's never good because you can never even with America, like if Trump becomes a dictator, that's not good. You can't have one person running everything, Even the best-hearted person. There's been few good kings and queens, but it's very seldom. You read way more about bad ones, Same with the Roman Empire and all these people. Like there are some good dictators or kings and queens and shit, but not a lot. You need to have checks and balances. That's the whole thing. But yeah, I don't hate. I don't think China's I don't think they're as bad as Russia. Like if I were to compare.
No. A lot of it, our view is basically going to be filtered through, that fucking anti-communist propaganda, basically.
Yep. But to me, it's mostly right. It might not be always right, but
yeah, they're authoritarian, obviously.
That's the big thing. It's not even communism. It's the authority. Like I said, it's a dictatorship.
I think they're
when you have a vote, it's 98 to 2%. It's like, oh, okay.
I'm not quite so sure if they're as bad as we were as imperialists, you know what I mean? I don't think they've let me see. How many coups have the Chinese fucking staged?
Oh, I was thinking Russia, China? I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I know they tried to take over Japan and shit. The big thing recently was the Hong Kong thing.
Yeah, yep.
That was the other thing I was telling dudes when he's talking about Russia and America, how much better. I'm like, when the Hong Kong protests and shit were happening, were those people raising Russian flags and singing their national anthem? No, they were singing the American national anthem and flying American flags because we represent freedom. Even if we're not even though we might not be the best and we'd fuck up and do whatever, sometimes we're not saying we don't, but we still are the best beacon of hope and freedom in the world. Like I said, we're the only country that you literally have the freedom of speech. No other country in the world has that right. This is the only one. Stuff like that. It's such a big deal. People don't actually think about how great that is.
Why is this? See, this is saying list of coups attempted by country. Okay, let's go to the U.S. down here. This is Wikipedia, so. United States.
I mean,
The
according to
president
this,
specify other countries.
the last war China was in was Vietnam.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
I was saying, yeah. So they don't really fight people. Like I said, they want money. They're all about the
They're not, yeah. It's like they're just developing these fucking countries, you know, I don't know.
Well, I mean, China, I think, is trying to be Western, but they like their dictatorship, like their communist stuff. You know, like, so they like that, but they also want the money and all that shit that comes with the West. So they're, like I said, they're kind of stuck in a weird spot where either they're gonna go backwards in time and go straight full-fledged communist and be authoritarian and fucked up, or they're gonna keep continuing to be pushed more towards the West, and then eventually maybe we'll break down to democracy and, you know, join how the Western world is.
Okay, this is not giving me good fucking information at all. I don't know, dude. I feel like they're honestly smarter than us by a lot.
Probably they're more
don't know.
united. I mean, that is one of the good things with a dictatorship or whatever. Is if you have one person, guess what? It's easy to get everybody on board.
Yep,
You just tell people
absolutely.
yourself, you know, like, hey, this is what we're doing.
No bureaucracy or any of that.
Yeah,
bullshit.
I'm saying
No
that's
fucking-
one of the positives of it, but I mean, there's a lot of negatives. So,
No, the people are retarded or whatever shit.
you know, I found out. I think it was the Americans' first like 2 elections. Only like 10% of the population actually voted.
Oh,
Like we think we have
Property
low,
rights.
like
Yeah.
low, like this is like the highest turnout rate ever. Is like right now, and we think it's so low, and it's like 50%, whatever it is.
they had to own property to be able to vote.
Yeah,
Like-
and you had to be somewhat educated. I can't remember how far, but something. Yeah,
Better than fucking
dum dums.
5th grade or whatever the fuck. Like no fucking requirement whatsoever here, man. Like
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason why they did that actually was to allow black people to vote originally. That's when they changed that. I think it was the 24th Amendment or something like that. But yeah, they got sick of fucking black people not to vote. They're like, can you read this? No. Well, then you can't vote. So they changed it. But now it opens up the door for more dum dums, I guess. So
let's see here.
it's good and bad. But yeah, it was so funny. I've never dealt with like a full-fledged pro-Russian dude ever in my life. It was pretty amazing.
That's so weird.
Yeah, dude.
Russian
Like I just kept being,
trolls.
I was just like, dude, do you deep throat? Like I keep asking him, like, dude, why don't you move there? If they're so great and they're so awesome, like their GDP, like you say, they're awesome, they're all this. Then why are you here? Why don't you go there? And then the dude's like 40 years old, so then he starts talking to me about like, oh, I remember back when Walmart made everything in America. I'm like, dude, you're not that fucking old. Because I looked at his fucking Facebook thing. I'm like, dude, you're like 40, dude. Fuck the fuck off. Like, you're my brother's age. Like, I know my brother didn't grow up with that shit. And you're about as old as my brother. So, no. Nothing. Like, everything was still made in China and Taiwan in 1982 or whatever the fuck, you know. And then, yeah, started getting into terror. All this shit, dude. It was just ridiculous. It was like 2 days worth of just shenanigans, honestly.
Well, the tariff debate seems to be sort of complex, but
I gave the guy props. At least he tried to. He would show me shit. Like he would like actually like fucking show evidence. So I gave him props. Like I didn't fucking get mad at him for like that shit. Because usually I'm like, can you show me? But this time like he'd be like, oh look at the Azog battalion. They're a bunch of Nazis. I'm like, dude, this is all shit I already fucking know. You think like the Azog battalion is 2,500 people. There's like 1.5 million people fighting in Ukraine. That's like not even 1% of them. And you're gonna say they're all fucking Nazis? You know, like
That's so weird to me. Apparently, they do have a sort of like history of like respect for the Nazis because I don't know if it's Ukraine or just Poland, but maybe
That
that whole
whole area.
region because yeah, it's
You're rocking
such
a hard place because on the left of you's got Germany, who you kind of fucking hate, and the right of you got Russia, who you kind of fucking hate. So you're like, this is the lesser of two evils.
all right, let's see here.
I mean, I think that's kind of what it came down to at that point.
Trump's tariffs proposals. During a recent debate, Donald Trump defended his plans to impose substantial tariffs on Chinese imports, proposing blanket tariffs ranging from 10 to 20%,
10 to 200%.
with additional tariffs potentially reaching 60 to 100%. He emphasized these tariffs are a means of ensuring. Yeah. Harris's critique, failing to confront the country on its critical issues. It failed to effectively confront the country. She advocated for a strategy focusing on strengthening alliances and investing in American technology. Let's see here. No, dude. This did not tell me what I needed to know. The discourse around tariffs highlights broader themes of power dynamics. Okay. China's response in response to U.S. tariff proposals and export controls, China has expressed strong opposition and indicated it would take necessary countermeasures. Dude, this was shit. Fucking AI did not help me here.
That's why you should never trust the AI shit. I tell people all the time. I try to get all my friends, and I try to tell my kids and shit, because they always look at the AI thing like, hey. That's just a broad view of like they take like 10 websites. They kind of take the average. Here's what they like. Go into each one, or at least a couple of them, and actually read what they think. No, basically, Russia, Iran, and North Korea have been begging China to join them in their basically new axis of evil, but they won't. Like I said, because they don't want to hurt their shit with America, because they know they rely on us for most of their money.
Dude, Japan joining them would be, dude.
Japan, I don't think we'll ever join them. Japan's way west.
Oh, did you say it? Did you say Japan?
No, I'm talking about China. I'm saying in
Okay,
China.
China and
I'm saying Russia,
China,
Iran, and North Korea
right,
are
yeah,
begging China to join them in their new fucking little
Okay.
axis of power. And like I said, they've been begging for a couple
China
of
doesn't
years.
need their asses. China doesn't fucking need them.
No.
China does not need to get involved with any of their shit. They'd be so stupid.
It would, well, like I said, because if they do that openly, then they're going against America. That would hurt their bottom dollar.
So I'm not sure if reshoring would, because they could just go to like China, like companies that are producing in China can just go elsewhere, and then hey, like they don't have to move it that fucking far.
Yeah, I mean the only thing the worst thing China could do is take over Taiwan. That would be horrible, because we'll probably. Well, I don't know, because now Trump's it. I guess I don't know what the fuck we'll do, because we're isolationists now. But before we would have got in and helped them, I think, because they got all the chips.
Okay, for example, projections indicate that Trump's proposed tariffs could shrink U.S. GDP by up to 1% over time.
Yep.
It's not like, I mean,
That's what I got an email.
you look at that number, it seems small, but
No, that's
it's a lot.
Well, what's our GDP? I can't remember. I looked up the other day. It was like $4 trillion, No, it was way more than that. USG. Yeah, $27 trillion. So 1% of that is like $2 trillion we lose,
God damn.
or 200 billion actually. I think it's 200 billion. Either way, it's a fuck ton of money. Yeah, like I said, my stock people, my E-Trade, whatever, they sent me an email, like I said, a month ago after he won the election. They already gave me the warnings of what's going to happen with America. They told me GDP is supposed to go down 0.5% in the first year, and inflation is going to go up like 3.5%.
According to this, like it has a source, but I'm not gonna sift through all of it. Estimates for household expense increases as a result of the tariffs range from $2,500 to $4,000 annually per household.
Yep, I bet you that's about
That's a
3%.
lot.
I'm saying, but that's about 3%. 3% inflation. About the same.
That's fucking nuts. That's, dude, so fucking dumb.
Oh,
So
I
fucking dumb. Just because
Oh, I know.
fucking China bad. Like, The fucking.
It's not even that. They keep
Um,
thinking like we're gonna just start building things here. I'm like, first, like I always tell people, we're supposed to be better than that. We're not supposed to build raw material. We're supposed to take the raw material and make it great. That's what America does. We're innovators. Like we're supposed to make things. Like we make the best cell phones. We make the best all
Yeah.
this shit. You know why? Because we do that. That's how we roll. And also, like you're gonna have all these. Like you know how long it takes to build infrastructure. Like you're gonna, like think about like the renewable energy, like solar panels and shit. How long it's taking to build that? Like now you're gonna have to rebuild all these new fucking factories and all these new shits to build. To do this stuff. Like it's not gonna be cheap, and it's not gonna happen right away. It's gonna take a fucking minute. Like honestly, you'll probably be out of office by the time this shit actually rolls out. That'd be my guess.
mhm.
Because I mean, yeah, we have some rundown buildings and stuff, but I mean, they've been run down forever. You still got to spend money to renovate them, and then you have to put them all up to new codes. Because it's fucking 50 years later, so the shit's not up to code. I don't know.
I'm wondering how much we have as far as heavy metals deposits that aren't being
I would assume a lot,
extracted.
honestly, because I mean, America, that was our niche forever, was that we were self-sufficient. But then, like I said, around the 20s, people hate globalism, and I get it to an extent, but it's like, there's a reason why we trade with China. You know why? Because it's cheaper. It's just cheaper. That's the way it is. Everybody wants to buy the cheapest, right? This is how we roll. You go to the store, you want to buy the cheapest food, you want to buy the cheapest clothes. Well, same as the fucking marketplaces. They want to buy the cheapest thing. I was trying to explain, because the dude I was explaining, like, all right, so China has slave labor. We charge 15 an hour, so it's gonna have to go up. And he's like, nope, we pay more buying through China, and it's worse. And I'm like, that just makes no logical sense to say it's more expensive and it's worse. Like the reason why we buy cheaper shit is because it's cheaper. Like it just makes no sense.
Yep.
How people
Flat out.
think. Ugh. It was so funny and frustrating, like I said, when I was talking to that dude.
I didn't see it.
I
I guess I don't need to see it, but
No, like I said, I tagged you, and
Kind of
towards
outlined
the end,
it.
I was like, Jesus Christ, man, what the fuck? Like, what kind of rabbit hole kind of shenanigans is this? Oh, we went through everything. We went through, like, the southern, like I said, I was arguing about fucking Civil War, because, it's states' rights. We just keep saying states' right to what? What were the states so mad about? Oh, yeah, slavery.
yeah. What the dude? It's just
I
like
know.
gaslighting, basically.
It's the lost cause. Like, I did a lot of research in that last couple of days, because dude made me. Plus, I've looked into it before, kind of, but I started deep diving, reading real shit. And oh man, it's just crazy how people think that. Basically it was like the congressmen, like after the Civil War, so like in the 1880s, wanted to fucking they basically started the propaganda train of being states' rights instead of slavery, so then people could make the South sound better than it would have been. If everyone would have been like,
Right,
"Oh, those
yeah.
racist piece of shit," well, the South would have never sounded good, ideologically wise. But now you made it about states' rights. Well, who doesn't want states' rights?
Right, exactly.
And then we went over the.
I'm worried about, dude, education being fucking handed to the states, dude. That's the dumbest fucking shit. Like, I'm just literally like, we're in Minnesota, so we're probably gonna be in a good state.
Yeah,
but,
we're fine in general. Yeah, I always say we're like one of the top, probably 5-6 states to live in. As much as people hate it.
Shit. If that makes the fucking idiots leave, hell yeah. I don't care. I don't know. Maybe that's the way it should be, though. Like in a way, like maybe it
It
might.
kind of is in a sense. I mean, if you go to like San Francisco, the tech ops is where they talk about all the tech billionaires live in this one spot. Well, that's probably why. Like, I need to talk to people who are smart. I can't talk to dummies. I got to talk to people who actually understand what the
Exactly.
fuck I'm talking about instead of just dumb
And then
dumps.
there's gonna be some like, all right, yeah, we fucked up. Like, look at how much better these states are doing. Like it might be okay. It might be a good experiment, even.
Dude, I tell people all the time, blue states and cities should stop paying for red states and cities because that's where they get all their money. People keep acting like the blue states are so expensive to live in and shit. You know why? Because that's where people want to live. They don't want to live in bumfuck nowhere. Hence why,
I heard.
like I said, all the blue cities they make all the money for the state. Minneapolis, St. Paul, Duluth. Those cities make the state all the money, and then when problems happen, bumfuck nowhere, who pays for it? Those big cities paying for the little cities of fucking subsidy.
California is the most indebted state, but it's only $500 billion, which I mean that's a lot, but
Yeah, for
overall.
what? They only have 39 million people, I think it is. So, I mean, they have a fuck ton of people. I think it's 39.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
California remains the 5th largest economy in the world. That's fucking
Oh, yeah, by
insane.
itself. It's the same economy as Japan, which is crazy because Japan's about the same size.
Holy
They're
shit.
pretty much twins of each other.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, 30,
Yeah.
39 million people, yeah. So 39 million people live in California. And they're, what do you say, they're 500 billion in debt, which relatively is not that much if you
Oh, dude, that's fucking nuts, dude. They like closed the gap with Japan in like 5 years almost, dude. From
Yeah.
2,700 versus 4,900 to, I mean, Japan's fucking GDP.
Dude, it's dope.
But
they're also the most debt. Remember we talked about that the other day? They have I think they're in debt $10 trillion, which is the highest GDP. Or like, that's like half their GDP is debt. But again, not all debt is bad debt, though. That's why I try to stress people. Like, sometimes debt is good.
well, people act like, oh, they're just gonna default on our fucking debt or whatever, whoever
Yeah.
is China or whatever. That's what people usually say.
Always, yeah. Everybody's in debt besides
And what?
10
Oh, our
million.
dollar's just gonna be useless. Like, I don't think it does not just fucking work like that. You guys are fucking nuts. Like, they're just gonna fucking have it. They just had it, and then they're just gonna fucking
Give it away.
pull that cord. Like, no, dude, that's not gonna fucking.
Well, like I said, we're the world's currency still. So until China ever passes us, that's just the way it's gonna be. You have nothing to worry about until that happens. If you ever see like the China's dollar, the yen, or whatever it is, fucking passes, then you can start worrying. Be like, oh, okay.
Trade wars are so fucking dumb because like that's all it's gonna lead toward is them like, pressing the fucking economic nuke button.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're. Oh, if I don't know, because you say you weren't paying attention, that's what Republicans are trying to do right now. They're trying to shut down the government again. They had a deal passed.
Oh yeah, they always fucking.
Well,
do
no,
this
which
shit.
is fucked up. So yesterday they had a deal. Like the Democrats, Republicans, they came to a bipartisan. Like, okay, let's just do this, okay? And then Trump fucking did his thing. Oh, I think it's a bad deal. Now today, all the Republicans rescinded. Like, oh, fuck you guys. Like literally it happened overnight because Trump. It's the same thing as always. Trump send out a tweet, whatever. People go, okay, master, I will do what you ask.
So just because they have to fucking not be labeled as like a fucking rhino or whatever,
Yep, and then they
like,
lose. Yeah. Well, like I said, fucking you'll be Liz Cheney and getting fucking goddamn about to be tried for no reason.
I saw that.
It's
Like,
fucking
how does
nuts.
that happen? Just like retaliation.
Yes.
It's
Well,
obvious, and there's
nobody
no
cares.
fucking law
No, because they always
that fucking stops this
They
shit.
just say, well, they went after Trump. They went after Trump.
There's nobody to
That's always the answer. They
fucking
went after
say
Trump.
this is petty bullshit. Like, no.
No, the
Like-
difference is that with Trump, they literally had concrete amounts of evidence for everything he did. Liz Cheney just said, hey, man, you fucking caused January 6th, and we have all this evidence. I'm going to show you. And they're like, we don't like it. You're going to go to jail now, or whatever. Or
Treason.
try to.
That's what they fucking treason, dude. 100%. Like, that's their attitude. Like, how does nobody see it? Like, how does none
Dude,
of
these
them
people like
see
it. That's
that
what's
this guy-
worse. That's what's worse. Like literally, it's just fucking. Like I said, half of America want it. Like that's the crazy part. Same with like, I told people the other day, like, I was like talking about 1933's Germany. I'm like, just so you guys know, in history, the bad guys who go searching house to house to put people in camps, those are the evil people. Just remember that in history, that's what happens, and it's evil, not the good. You never hear a story in history where the good people are the ones rounding up people house to house.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's
dude.
never once. How we're talking shit about Russia because that's the shit they do. That's what we're about to potentially be doing. It's horrible if you think about it.
Yep. I don't understand because like Latinos are fucking hard workers, and then you're gonna say they're lazy? Like, come on, like, I don't understand that. It's just because of the bullshit about And that's the thing we have to fucking attack somehow. Is this fucking notion that these immigrants are coming over here or whatever, and they're just being fucking, you know,
Oh, okay. Hold on. That chick I was telling you
showered with
about,
money.
she just sent me a message saying, apparently they've been putting a bunch of threats. Mercy's been getting a bunch of threats because of this article. She linked me an article. Well, I can't even find it. Whatever she sent me doesn't link to anything.
Okay.
But apparently, yeah, doctors plan to kill Scott Quinner or something. I'm guessing it's probably like an abortion case or something stupid. Just by the headline, but I can't read it yet. I gotta find somewhere to read. But that's apparently why.
She should you gotta have her talk to you with like a fucking voice changer thing, like.
Well, maybe so. That'd be the thing. Like, if I could talk to her and just use a fake name and shit, be like, hey, just meet me on Discord. Just use a fucking fake name. Who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
You don't gotta put
Yeah,
you
you don't
gotta
have
put
to.
your camera on or nothing. Nobody needs to know who you are. Just say, I'm a nurse. You can lie about your city. I don't even give a fuck. Be like, you say you're from Scottsdale, Arizona. I just want to know your thoughts on some medical shit. You know, from an actual professional.
Yep.
Yeah, she was saying it's the Alina reps, that are Alina union worker people are telling them to fuck around. There's a case. She told me to look up this case about Scott Quinner. I feel like I know that name. But yeah, she's saying there's a bunch of hospitals and shit getting bomb threats and stuff like that. It's fucking nuts. People are so stupid. Who's Scott Quinner? Oh no, some of COVID, I think.
This chick on Facebook. Bi men and bi females message me. I'm not with the boring shit. Let's have fun. Let's see her fucking mutual friends
porno
with me.
chicks.
No, this is like some chick from Coon Rapids, I think.
Oh really? Okay.
That's fucking funny. I'm not gonna out her, I guess. Yeah, these are all people from my age range that are on her friends list. Oh, there's a comment. Let's see it. Hacked? Question mark? Probably. But actually, why would anybody... whatever. Why would a hacker do that? They usually fucking spam with like some gambling bullshit.
Yeah, hold on. Scott Quinner died at 55 in a Texas hospital Saturday morning. The family's attorney confirmed to Fox 9. Quinner family went to court 2 weeks ago to get a restraining order to keep Alina Hospital from pulling the plug on the Oh, so he was on a ventilator. Someone pulled the plug, but he was dying. But he was dying of COVID and probably something else. I'm assuming. Hold on. On behalf of the family, I would like to extend their. It was around Thanksgiving too. The love and support they received from the community.
Shit.
They don't have all the specific medical records, but his he was unvaccinated COVID-19, first diagnosed in late October around. So he was diagnosed around Halloween and he died on fucking Thanksgiving.
That's fucked up. You say he's like 50 something?
55. He was 55. Let's see here. He required deep sedation, a breathing tube, and a ventilator. With his oxygen levels got dangerously low and did not improve. His wife, Anne, claimed Alina threatened to pull the plug on that ventilator 2 weeks ago, and that is when she went to court to fight. An attorney over Scott's healthcare decision, she hired a lawyer named Margarine Holston to stop Alina from pulling the plug. Quinner stated in public comments and social media that Alina would not treat Scott with certain drugs, nor would they attempt other extraordinary measures that might save his life. When the medical team...
apparently...
Oh, you can go. What do you want to say?
Apparently COVID is affecting less people this year.
Well, so diseases can mute two ways. They can get less contagious, more deadly, or they get more contagious, less deadly. And this one went that way, where it's not going to kill you no more, but you'll get sick a lot more. It's going to be the common flu, or it's going to be like that. It shouldn't kill you, but you'll be fine.
Apparently, a lot of people got sick in the summer, Like this says about 25%. I don't know
Oh,
what
this
they're
year specifically.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
25%
for
of the
all you know, like I
population.
said, maybe it's
Here.
mutating to be warm because it used to be warm, hated it. So,
Hmm.
we're probably on
I
like
guess,
we're
yeah.
probably like on the 15th, 20th version of it. Think about how fast they came out with the
Right.
Omicron and the three
Yeah.
kinds that came out like instantly. Then we don't hear about them no more. But like I said, they got to be like the 20th strain.
Yeah.
So
No doubt.
so how we figure out how to make our COVID shots and the flu shots here in America is we watch how COVID and on all these diseases work in Australia, like that winter. So like when it's our summer and it's their winter, we see how the flu works there and how the COVID shit works there. We see like what kind of variants and shit are. Then we get the diseases, the vaccines ready here, or whatever you want to call them, the jabs.
Oh, okay.
That's how we know like which variant's going to be the next one that hits us. And it kind of goes in a circle. So then Australia watches us when it's their summertime and it's our winter. See how if it mutates at all in our version, and then when they get it, they do their version. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
That's fucking clever, man.
That's how the flu shot works and the COVID shot. I know that those two specifically.
Yep. Makes sense. I did not know that.
No, yeah, most people. I don't like I said. I don't know who I heard it from. It's probably Neil deGrasse Tyson or one of those fucks. But it's crazy. So yeah, this
Looks like
case
it's
is
bad.
basically about a dude. I'm guessing he was probably brain dead if they're about to pull the plug. That'd be my guess. That's what I really want to know.
And now they're gonna
They
fucking
did pull the plug. He's dead. Now people are losing their mind. That's why people are trying to threaten fucking bomb threat Mercy Hospital because that's where it happened first. And then he died in a Texas hospital. They try to move him out of Mercy so they can bring him to Texas because Texas is more fucking conservative. Like, nope, he's got this. He's alive. But it didn't matter. He gone.
bye-bye.
It sucks, but I mean,
Right.
it's only funny because again, he's unvaccinated. He died of COVID, so which is it's never good. But it's like, man, isn't it ironic that the person that didn't do the shit they told him to do, if you have comorbidities and you're old, you should probably do the shit they tell you.
I didn't get vaccinated because I
didn't
personally didn't feel like I needed to.
Nope, neither did I. Like I said, I'm young and not dying. Like I said, if you're older and you have comorbidities, you should. That's why I always preface. I don't think kids should really get shots. Really, like they probably don't need them. Like I said, most people really don't need them, but there are people who do. There's been a lot of, I used to watch a lot of data talk about, like the actual, like I said, that's part of the shit that got me out of fucking being stupid was looking at the actual data from COVID and shit because people kept lying and bullshitting the whole time.
Actual research, yeah.
Well, yeah, especially because
I had masks don't work.
I had 6 months off. I had nothing else to do. I fucking researched a lot. I did puzzles. I did a bunch of shit. I had nothing else to do.
Yep.
But yeah, so I guess that makes sense.
I'm curious how much the vaccine. I mean, does the vaccine really do anything? Like, I don't even know.
It
like,
just
how can
makes you
even
less
measure it?
susceptible.
Like, no, I mean, like, as far as like, the negative effects. Like, I don't fucking know.
How do you? I mean, I don't know, man. That's
What's
always
the
tough.
point for tracing that, anyways? Like, what's done is done, anyways.
Well, I always think if the shot was as bad as they said, like 2-3 billion people took it, where it's like 100 million deaths, we don't have it.
Right. And yeah. Look how many people actually died from the virus.
And then I showed this chick when I was talking to her, this chick that I went to high school with. I was telling her about it, and she was all this shit. I was like, then I showed her a list of like the world's population every year. I'm like, if this was supposed to kill us all, why has it never gone down? Like, the population of the world's gone up every year since I think it was like the 30s or something like that. It's ridiculous. So if COVID was supposed to kill everybody or the shot, whatever, it didn't work.
What are the actual chances of another virus popping up in like the next 5 to 10 years? Like, it's pretty low, right? It's about like a century.
One a century. Yeah,
something like that. So,
at least for a big one. Like I said, we got lucky because it wasn't a deadly one, but it was contagious as fuck. So I mean, that was bad. But
by the time the next one pops up, dude, it's like they're gonna be fucking
people
ready for that shit.
Like I said, dude, we got from like 3 measles, mumps, and rubellas to like 3,000 because people are anti-vax fucking retards. It's nuts. Hold on. I had to ask the chick, like, was the guy brain dead the whole time? Because, like I said, to me in this case, that's what it matters. If your brain's dead, you're dead. So if this guy was brain dead for 2.5 weeks and just on a ventilator, being pumped alive, then fuck him. Not like that, but like that's not a person. They're not alive.
Yeah, I mean, how often do people don't come back from brain dead? They come back from comas.
That's my point. Yep,
fucking brain dead.
that's what I'm saying. If this person was just in a coma for like 2.5 weeks and they want to pull the plug, that's kind of fucked up. But if they did all the tests and seen this person was totally brain dead, yeah, dude, fucking out. You got to pull the plug. I don't know how you.
There's got to be precedent for that, right?
Well, I think it usually. I mean, I don't know, man.
How many people are like vegetables that are still fucking? Is there a fucking technical term for vegetable?
Hold on, how many people have no consciousness? If I can spell it right, or whatever. I think they're talking about like conscious, like Jiminy Cricket, like consciousness, like that. Yeah, sociopaths. I'm like, no way, 4% of the world or whatever.
Wait, vegetative state versus
yeah, vegetative state
versus or not coma, brain dead.
25,000 people, 25,000 adults and 10,000 children in the United States are in a vegetative state.
Wow, that's a lot.
I mean, yes and no. 25,000 out of 360 million? It's probably like...
That's still a lot.
I
That
bet
feels
that's
like a lot.
The number's a lot, but like I say, if you break it down to like, it's like probably like 1/4% of our actual
Like
population.
Half Rapids, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the number's big, but if you actually break it down per capita, or whatever, it's not that big, But I get what you're saying. Because, yeah, there's 35,000 people total.
All right. Yep, they're two distinct medical conditions. How often? Okay, let's see here.
Okay, hold on. You ready for this?
Yep.
Okay, she goes, I didn't have him as a patient, so I don't know the specifics of this case. But we have a very strict protocol on brain death testing. 2 physicians have to complete an exam and do all the brain death testing. The patient can have no brain reflexes. Then they can go to a nuclear medicine brain death scan, which is tens of thousands of dollars to perform, but can check on those scans to see if they're brain dead. So yeah, looks like the Coon Rapids people, at least like by their protocol, at least 2 different people checked that dude's brain to see, and found out he was fucking brain dead. So obviously you pull the plug because they're not alive.
Yeah, it's a legal definition of death. So yeah. Yep, I see here.
Well, again, that's why I always joke. It's funny though, because how we're talking about the brain dead, because that's the moment of death. So I always say when it goes back to abortion, you don't start life until you have a motherfucking brain, because that is the key to you, to everybody, to you. That is the key to being a person.
So is that the 21 to 24
24 weeks, give or take, yeah. But yeah, that's why I always say, like, because like how we're arguing right now about this topic is literally just because it's about brain, like if you don't have a brain, yeah, you should probably pull the plug. What the fuck? Why am I keeping your heart? Yeah. Why am I paying to keep your heart pumping when there's no need for it to be pumping?
Mm-hmm. Because feelings. He's doing there. Vegetative states, though. That's so fucking... Yeah. I wonder how many people come back. Vegetative state. Okay, 50% of adults, 60% of children. 1 month after a traumatic brain injury may regain consciousness within a year. Okay. Much does it cost to keep them alive?
Yep. I just basically told her that I agree with the hospital then. Like, if he's brain dead, yeah, they should have pulled the plug.
Yeah.
You know,
Seems
like I agree with the
open and
hospital.
shut or whatever.
You know, I wish I'd
After
have knew
did
about
all the
this case when it
protocol.
happened because I'd have I'd have hung out the hospital like, you know, these bitches are right.
Wait, so they shipped this guy from fucking.
Yes.
So it's like one of the second. Dude, that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, he died when he got there, basically. But yeah, because they have a more conservative, you know, as long as the heart's alive, they're alive. Again, it has nothing to do with the heart; it's your brain.
Takes 90 grand a year to keep somebody alive in a vegetative state. Holy shit. And
Oh,
up
dude, it's
to
expensive, dude.
170,000. Dude, medicine, dude, I don't know what it is. Is it the fucking
We don't want to
like how
die.
much what's the
Humans.
difference what's the profit and then like cost
Well,
ratio there? Like I don't even
so
you have to really
it's
look at
really
it.
hard to
Just
explain. It's really complex. That's the thing people don't realize. So like when you make up a new pill, right, or a new anything, right, when it's brand new, um, it probably cost you $1 billion, maybe like half a billion dollars to come up with it. You know, like that, you know, to come up with it. So it's the upfront cost that makes things so expensive right away. Because then that person gets a patent for like whatever 10, 15 years. So they get to have a super high price. They got to make that money
yeah.
back right away. You know, so they don't go out of business. And then it kind of just lingers for, like I said, like 10, 15 years, and then it slowly drops in price when you get more competitors and shit. But so like they do fuck you, but there's a kind of a reason why, and that goes back to like what Bill always says, like if medicine was fucking universal, aka the government paid for it, well, you know, we can give a lot more money and not, you know, wouldn't have to rely on an independent guy making that pill for $500 million and then wanting that money back as soon as he can get it, you know, because he's a company guy instead of being the government like, oh, we can get that back later, you know, like this pill will be out for the next 50, 100 years, you know, we'll get our money back. Just give it time, you know, different thought process.
Yeah. That makes sense. So who's that one guy? That do you remember that one guy that was in the news that like I don't remember his fucking name. I don't. He was like he had like some emo shirt or some shit. I remember the picture, but then he was like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with it. But he was one of those cases of a guy just charging absurd prices for something very simple. I forget what it was. But yeah, obviously there's you know if somebody needs something to survive, they can fucking just milk the shit out of people no matter what. There's well like insulin, it's like super cheap in Canada, right?
Yep.
That's another thing.
I think insulin's been out for a while. So, I mean, it should be cheaper. I don't know why it isn't even here. Because, like, yeah. Hold on. Okay, I mean, yeah. So basically, anybody who has left wing stuff about drug prices will say drug prices are manufactured to make money, which mostly is true. But I gotta
This
try
is
to.
not the only element.
Yeah, I'm
You
saying I
can't
gotta try to. Again, like I said, I try to be fair and balanced in the sense of here's what these people are saying. Let me try to find what the other side is saying, at least a little bit to
right
see.
because it's not always bullshit.
No, for sure. And like I said, I get it to an extent. Like obviously, if I were to spend $1 billion making some, well, I want to get my $1 billion back soon. You know, who wouldn't? You know.
Yep. So you can fund the next fucking research product or
That's usually
whatever.
what it is too. You just yeah. In 2021, our prices are 2.5 times more expensive than the top 32 countries in the world, like Japan, Australia, France, all that shit. Crazy. And then like OxyContin,
Oh,
like the branded drugs are 3.5 times more expensive here.
oh, okay.
Just,
Wow.
I'm trying to see like actually how they get the pricing. But I know people, so like it's funny. So people hate like Biden for passing the Inflation Reduction Act, which whatever, but it requires the federal government to negotiate prices for some drugs covered by Medicaid B and Medicare D. Negotiated prices for this initial set of medicines should start to become effective in 2026. So in 2026, the government's going to finally be able to allow to do some of these drugs, like negotiate prices. Like, no, you're going to be capped at this. So it's Exavin, the insulin. So yeah, insulin's about to be capped. I can't remember what they said, like $20 a month or something like that. But, like that's something good, and people hate
Very
it.
good.
And people
Well,
hate it.
who people hate it?
Yeah, well, the
course they do.
the fucking Trumpies, they say it's this shit's stupid and blah blah blah. I'm like I said, if you read that, like I don't know, man, just these three big drugs being set at a set price is probably really fucking good. And again, that's just the first round of negotiations. Eventually, down the line, they can negotiate even cheaper prices and shit.
It's all knee jerk like snowflake shit,
Well,
like
again, it's
they worked hard, they put in their, you know,
you
they
know,
fucking bootstrapped themselves into this fucking like
oh, I
fuck
know.
off. Fucking justifying or fucking, whatever,
Well,
buying
again,
into some shit that doesn't even positively affect them.
I tell people all the time, but people hate it. But honestly, Biden's probably going to go down as one of the best presidents ever in history books when they actually read about it, like in 100 years. Because all the shit he passed with like no majority, fucking, he passed like 7, 8 big actual bills, like huge bills, like the infrastructure bill and the Inflation Reduction Act, like all these big, nobody
I
does
should
that.
have actually looked more into it.
I started get like the Chips and Science Act. I always tell people like when I explain that to people, I'm like, how are you gonna tell me it's a bad deal? You don't want to make chips here? All these people that say they want to have jobs here and do all this shit, well, he's about to do it.
It's always what they put in there they don't fucking tell us about.
Oh no, they'll say, oh, that was one thing with that. They'll be like,
Earmark
oh,
or
we
whatever.
gave $40 billion to fucking Ukraine. It's like, okay, but you know what we did? We get to make chips here for cheap. Don't you want
But
to make computer
my
chips
argument
here?
against that is always like, look at our fucking defense budget, right? Like
Yeah.
40 billion is like a drop in a bucket. Like
Oh, I
it's
know.
literally, it is defense. It is defense. Like you don't want do you want Russia to fucking
Hmm.
take over Ukraine? Like
Oh,
no,
I know.
nobody. Like
These people do though.
I
Like I
don't.
said, I was talking to you yesterday or the other day. There's plenty of people that do want Russia to win. They don't give a fuck. It's crazy.
Fucking weird.
Well, because like I said, there's people that think that every conspiracy is true and everything's whatever, right? And that America's bad. We fucking we coup all these countries. We do all these things and all these things, which, like I said, they're not necessarily wrong. But I always tell them, who? If we didn't coup them, who else was about to try to coup them? It was always Russia. That's why we do stuff. I mean, it's not to be
Well, like
good. It's
if
not good or bad,
America's
but there's a
bad
reason.
now, when did it fucking flip? Right? Like when did this shit flip for you guys? Obama? Is that what you think? Fucking
Well,
Obama?
yeah, a lot of people say Obama was a great divider.
Like no, he wasn't. He
He,
was not at all. He was like
no,
what did one thing he didn't I remember one thing he wouldn't say like Islamic fucking
yeah,
extremism or
yeah.
whatever, and it's like okay, what like
No, he
you
said
kind of
that.
got a point,
I
but
think he's the one that said that Republicans cling to their guns and Bibles or something. People talk shit about that. That's a big one. He's like, oh, we say
is
we're
he
all
fucking
fuck.
lying?
No, he's not. That's why it's funny because like no, like if I go to you guys' all houses, I bet you guys have a Bible and I bet you have a gun. There's probably like an 80% chance.
Why do people want to live under fear?
Because I think it's just easy. Like,
Dude, when you believe you're going to fucking heaven, like
or hell. Like I said, if you get
you
threatened
look
with
at
hell,
this whole thing as if it's trash. Like it's just you're in purgatory, and then you don't give a fuck about what you do to the planet, the people on it, None of that.
For
It's
sure.
just about you and your fucking stupid
That's why
God.
those religious folks will fight not being gay or whatever because, well, I'll have eternity forever. I'll be, life will be great forever. If I gotta fucking suck for 40 years of my life, well, fuck it. I'll be, forever. I'll be in heaven. Instead of, like I said, instead of thinking the other, you only have 40 years. You might as well enjoy those 40 years. You don't know what happens after. If you do, great. If you don't, well, you better enjoy the 40 you got. Make yourself
Dude.
happy.
What if a God does exist and he's like, no, none of that shit? That's not what I fucking, no, that's not I didn't fucking decree this shit.
Oh,
You
I
were
know.
a fucking asshole. Where do you think you're going, motherfucker?
Right? I know. It's the mob. He's a mobster, basically. That's why I was using the analogy. He loves you unless, and the unless is
Yeah,
you go to hell.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I know, like I always
It-
say, like everyone's like, he's full of love. I'm like, yes, he is. Unless, and that list of unlesses is a big it's a lot.
It's weird how many just pocket cultures we have. Just through
It's
like
getting
people's
worse with the
social
internet
networks.
because of fucking echo chambers. But yeah, it was always kind of like this, but just like I said, it's just gotten worse. Because like I said, I can talk to a guy from Canada every day. Like my echo chamber grew.
I wonder if there's an AI that fucking only takes from like MAGA sources and like QAnon sources and all
Go to
this.
go
So
to
like
8chan. You just got to go to 8chan. You'll find out anything.
8chan.
It is. There's an 8chan. People fucking are stupid.
4chan?
It's worse.
There was an 8chan too? Like
Yeah,
I thought you were like,
no, I'm not even fucking around. I'm just saying, no, it's worse. There's an 8chan. Here you go. 1 in 3 adults in America take prescription drugs.
that's not 1 in 3?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a lot. But
That's probably like 100. Oh, no, it's probably like 45, 50 million people. Give or take.
average cost for prescription drugs
Average cost.
per user.
You know, you should look up. Oh, I mean, I can look it up to you right now, actually. I can look up the cost of prescription
Not
drugs
bad.
with insurance versus without.
Wait, 177. Okay, never mind. The average American. See, that's average American. That's not average fucking drug fucking user. Average out of pocket was okay, 151 in 2021, but the average American spent 1,400 per person on prescription drugs.
1,400.
Yeah, I guess that counts like.
What year is this? 2020.
I don't know. 2021.
No, mine. I was just looking at. Hold on.
People with chronic conditions have higher prescription drug expensive. Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. Don't understand why we don't fucking nationalize healthcare already. Even though I don't know shit about it. I don't know it.
No,
But
neither do I. But it's one of those things you can read about it though. We can try to figure it out together.
what was I thinking? I made some arguments. Was it about healthcare? What was it about? Fuck me.
All right, you ready for something? I think this. I don't know if this. It doesn't tell me if it's per month or per year, but it says. So this is in 2020. Among elderly adults who obtained retail prescription drugs, median annual out-of-pocket spending fell from 2009 to 2018. For those who had private insurance, it cost roughly $361 to $154. With Medicaid, it was $341 to $160, and people without insurance it was only $318 to $177. So you actually pay less with no insurance.
Jeez. I mean, it could be because the people that don't have insurance don't need insurance. I don't know. There's a lot of factors.
No, it's
to
probably
that.
because they can't afford it. I mean, honestly, or not necessarily can't afford it, but it'll cut like what they want to spend money on, I guess. Because
Mhm.
if, it
Yep,
costs,
yep,
if
yep.
you lose $200 a month,
I was in that position. My fucking job, I think it was my last job was was it 300 and something a month? Like I was like, nope, not doing that shit. You
Yep.
fucking crazy?
I do it every other year. Like every other year, I'll get insurance. Like I'll bite the
Take
bullet.
care of all your bullshit.
I'll pay the 150.60 a month this year, but then next year I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it again.
That's not even that bad. Yours is good. The fuck?
That's
I gotta
because
get a job at a bar.
that, and plus, like I said, I'm a single dad of one, technically on paper.
Mm.
It's partially why me and my girlfriend don't get married, is because she's a single mom of one and I'm a single dad of one. So on paper, we look like we're poor.
How
Like if we ever get married, I'm
long have
like,
you guys
we've been together
been
for like
together
11
then?
years.
Okay, damn.
But yeah, we just don't need to get married, at least not until the kids are old enough. I make way better taxes and shit with them, with it being the way it is.
Damn. Fucking loophole. Game in the system
Yeah.
now.
I mean, I would make
Why
money.
wouldn't you?
I would make money in other areas because if you get like married, you get so you get some benefits being married. But at the current stage, like I said, because yeah, we just be a normal family, two people with two kids. Like, oh, that's like every household, nothing special.
Yep.
And plus, then you got to combine fucking wages. So then we start making like 80, 90 grand on paper. Like, oh no, it's so much better when I make like 40. You make $40,000, you own a house, and you have a kid. Oh yeah, you're poor. Thank you. Click.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, what is this game? Oh, Rise of the Triad. Yeah, I remember that shit, I think.
The highest people paid for drugs was in 2010. People were paying about $1,500 out of pocket.
Damn.
That's crazy. So in 2009, if you didn't have insurance, you were paying $3,000 a year on average for drugs. And now in 2018, it dropped down to $1,600. And you know why? That's because of the ACA. If people don't want to give it credit again. Because it's Obamacare and people hate Obama. That's what I always tell people. Like, man, if you actually just look at, like, like everyone's like, all my friends and people are trying to give me shit. Like, oh, you're fucking switching. You're a lefty now. Like, well, yeah, because when you actually look at graphs and look at stats, I don't know how you're not. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
There's so much to actually think about. You know, it's
Like I said, not every
attitude
issue. Well, like I said, not
versus
every issue will I
reason.
lean left, but in general I will. Because like I said, when you look at numbers and graphs and actual stats, like I said, with Bush it was $3,000. It's a Republican. It went to a left person, it dropped down to $1,600. I wonder why. Like I said, because the ACA. Like it all directly correlates. Same as like
What's
now.
weird?
Well, I'm
How
saying even now with
better.
Okay, you go.
Things get better with the Democrat in office, but then again, they're
It's
quote unquote
long-term,
two
though.
sides of the same coin, right?
On a lot of issues, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
So, well, it's like
I don't. I guess I
man.
wouldn't say that as much anymore because now the right wing is so fucking extreme. It's not probably true. That's the thing. I would say like 2006 Republicans, yeah, they're both the same, but 2024 Republicans are fucking nuts. They're like 80% conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
Like I have never talked to one Trumper who didn't believe at least in 4 or 5 conspiracies.
Yep. Same. My older brother, I'd have to ask him to see, but he thought that fucking global warming was a conspiracy cooked up so fucking like
Yeah, I mean,
recycling
for a long
companies or
time,
whatever
I
could
didn't believe
fucking
in it. Like, I didn't think it was at least as bad as they said. I thought I was one of those people like, what's happening? But is it all humans? Is it all this? Try to question those little things. Poke holes around the fucking edges. But it's like, like I said, then I started reading actual documents of scientists. Like, oh no, it's happening. Again, once you start reading graphs and stuff, oh, the graph says this. Well, I don't know how I'm going to argue that it doesn't say that because that's what the graph says. And it's multiple people, multiple organizations with the same graph. I don't know. Don't know what to tell you.
I was looking up current global warming projections, but it doesn't really
Hold on.
say anything different.
I mean, if you really want to geek out someday, I got like 100 some odd page fucking document I've downloaded. I read it a bunch. Oh, I read parts of it a bunch. When we go to Michigan, we have 18 hours in a car, and I hang out with Doug, who's a super right wing guy,
Oh,
which is always funny. So then, oh, dude, there's been times where I've just read the Constitution to him, like word for word, because he'd be like, "That's in the Constitution." I'm like, "Really, Doug? Let's read this, okay?" And I'll just read it out loud. Like, where does it say that, Doug? Tell me what part. When did I say those words you said? Oh, I didn't. Okay. And then one time with global warming, I'm like, Doug, there's no fucking way. And then I fucking downloaded this fucking thing, this fucking paper. I just gotta find it somewhere.
it's like everything comes down to the greenhouse effect. Like,
Yep.
why can people not fucking like get it through their
And
heads
why do we have the
like
greenhouse
that?
effect? Like, what causes the greenhouse?
Yeah,
Like, we know it exists.
exactly.
Like, we know that it
CO2
happens. Yeah, it's like, okay, we
and
know this
other things. Now
happens.
methane fucking releasing. Like people talk about, oh, the cows are farting. Oh, the cows are gonna kill
Yep.
us with
Oh
their
yeah. Well, like
farts.
I said,
No, it actually
when
fucking
I was a
happens.
dummy, I used to think the same things. Like I said, you just try to poke holes in the actual the theories or whatever you want to call it.
I I came up with something in my AI talk earlier. Well, like read something up for me. They talk about rational irrationality, I think it is, and apparently, like they view people's like quote unquote, or people will see their like incorrect beliefs as like low cost. Like it doesn't
Yep.
cost them much to believe that shit, and
Yep.
that's why
For sure.
it's not necessarily like avoidance of shame or anything like that or guilt for like converting or whatever. Like, I mean, it's probably a part that's got to be in there too. But like, yeah, like
Nobody
they
wants to admit
just,
they're wrong.
yeah, nobody does.
It's
Nobody
a
does. 'Cause
shame.
especially if you've been wrong for 20, 30 years or some shit, and you've been vocal as fuck, like you're gonna be ridiculed. You will be
Think about
fucking ridiculed.
think about how left wing people are now. Like the people that are jumping train, joining the Trump side and stuff now because they don't want to admit that they're wrong. Like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just join the evil.
Well, what did they like admit they're wrong about what? Like as far as like, is this like a bandwagon thing or whatever? Like,
Yeah, I would say.
because like,
Because
oh,
like,
oh, they fucking yeah.
well, like, did you see like Cenk Uygur and them were fucking like, oh, because Elon's like, oh, maybe we'll listen to you about this one thing. And he's like, you see this? They actually will listen to me. They'll do this and this. The left wing will never do that to me. It's like, okay, bro, you're gonna start being pro Trump after like 8 years of being like this guy's this and this. Now you're gonna start saying good things about it. It's like, all right,
And that just shows how much
money,
it's just fake.
money,
It's
money,
just
power. Well, it's like I said, people get seduced by money, power, and shit.
using people that have fucking certain opinions to get elected and get power. Not
Like I
not
said, it's the same.
actually like mean it.
Well, yeah, like I said, same thing for.
Listen to the guy run his mouth at every fucking rally, and he says the same shit again and again and again and again, and then people think he's like, a fucking orator or something because he can, sustain his speech for so long. But he's just saying the same shit.
Oh, I
He's
know.
not really all there. He's just, he's
Dude,
arrogant. He's
he's funny. That's the thing. That's the thing people like. I mean, honestly, people like the
yeah.
nicknames. His fucking little fucking lying Ted, all that dumb shit. Crooked Hillary. I think that's part of it. Plus, he was a celebrity before, so I mean, he was already a celebrity. Obviously, when he gets on camera, he's funny for a lot of people. You know.
Mm.
And honestly, he just talks shit about Latinos, and some reason people are tricked to think that Latinos are stealing all the money from you, and I don't know how they get this thinking. They do get. I'm saying they do get money. I'm not saying they don't, but compared to like everything we spend, it ain't much. A and B, they bring in money by spending taxes on everything they buy and all the shit. Like
And they
so.
100% work their asses off.
Well, yeah,
Like
I'm saying that most of them, it's. I would bet it's a net positive overall. Like whatever you
it
think you
is.
spend, like whatever we spend on these people illegally, I bet they bring in more.
And just think about how our economy is going to adjust to them over the span of 10, 20 years. Like not even 10, 20 years. It's going to be it's like our economy is basically constantly making room for these fucks. Like it's not
Well, because again, we
a
have
big
we have
adjustment.
25,000 people dying a day. Like I said, we looked at the one day. It was like 25,000 people die a day. It's like you need to bring in 25,000 new workers to, you know,
Yeah,
even
our
out.
birth rates. Yeah, our birth
Just
rates are
saying,
good.
like
So
that's why I think it's funny when people hate these people. It's like any immigrant. It's like no,
so fucking
we're
stupid.
about to have a
Oh
shortage of
my
people,
god.
and you need people to fucking work. So I'm saying people talk shit
Yep.
about the Haitian shit. It's like the Haitians were asked to be there because they had warehouses they didn't have running because they just had no workers. So they brought in like 500 Haitians. So like, hey, work this factory. Boom.
Mm,
You know.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean
dude. It's
that's literally what it was. But these people fucking again, they said they're eating dogs and cats and doing all this dumb shit because they don't know how the rules work, thinking that they're trying to take over the country. Like, no, they were brought here legally and for a legit reason. Like, well, it was so hard to see that.
yep, xenophobia.
A lot of it is.
It
Yeah,
really makes no fucking sense to me. Like,
because people are tribal. I mean, a lot of people, and they can't break free of tribal. And I mean, technically, I mean, we all are. I mean, like, even I, to an extent, like, obviously, you care about your family more. Like, there's some of it, and I understand some
yeah,
of it, but it's like I said, we should all understand we're all human, not like, oh, you're Asian, so you're bad, or, you're black, you're bad, you're this, you're bad, just because, you know,
well, it's like Latinos are basically, a part of fucking American culture at this
yeah.
point. And like, what do you think? These are just like a different type of Latino coming in here? Like they're
Well, they send in the rapists and the fucking insane asylum people, right? That's what he says
they
for.
send them, yeah, they
I'm saying
send them in, yeah, they round them up
for the
and
last 8 years, he's been saying they send
weaponize
in the
against
fucking
us.
rapists and the insane. See, Trump's.
8 years,
I'm just saying
8 years.
I think Trump's such a retard. When they talk about the asylum process with like immigrants, I think he thinks that they're talking about the insane asylum. Like I think he's so
Right.
stupid.
Oh my
I
God.
think he's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
stupid. I think he's like, oh, they're sending it over their insane asylum. Like, no, they're sending over asylum seekers. They're asylum. They need freedom, not the insane asylum. You fucking
See,
retard.
if you can make it so like what you're saying can be explained by stupidity, then there's fucking, plausible deniability.
Yeah. Well, again, he's
Like that's
the master of fucking he's a TikTok politician. Everything's got to be short, simple answers. There's no fucking thinking.
yeah.
No fucking. He's the opposite of fucking long form content. He's like, build the wall. There you go. Send him back. Lock him up. Super simple.
Yep.
Short,
100%.
and
And
everyone
it's
goes.
worse in our culture, fucking big time.
Dude's worse for
I don't,
everybody.
that's
dude.
my biggest. That's my biggest fucking gripe with him overall. It's
It's
not
a big one.
okay. His policies suck, but look at what he's done to the country. And then like I'll talk to my mom about it. Like, hey, look what he's fucking done to the country, and she fucking like stamp her feet and get angry. Like, no, it was the liberal media that fucking kept the conflict going or divided the country. Like, no, dude, you're fucking guy who's the fucking president who's supposed to be like, our like the
Right.
guy that's like.
He's basically the best. He's the world's cheerleader. Like that's really what he does. He cheerleads. He
He's
says,
supposed to be like a president is supposed to be a fucking leader and an example, not a fucking like the worst of our fucking country. Not like this is I don't know. Everybody's talked about this more than enough. We're not reaching new ground with this. We're not.
no. But I mean, it's still it's from other things we branch. It's like any conversation we usually have. It branches from this to this to this to this.
Yeah. We're just.
But no, yeah. I'm gonna wonder what Christmas is gonna be like because if I gotta go over to certain people's houses and I gotta hear all this shit, it's only a matter of time before I snap off and start being like, "You guys are fucking stupid." like it's like the same thing at the bar, except I can't walk away because it's all family members. Like, fuck, I'm at this dinner table. I gotta sit here and listen to Trump's the best. Like, okay.
Nobody wants to listen to that shit, and like.
Well, they do because they're all Trumpers. That's the whole thing. Like,
well, if you say anything, do they fucking make you like feel like shit or whatever? Like
no,
you're the
they'll just
asshole?
argue and be like, "Oh, you sound like a Marxist." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure, okay, that's what you think. Go for it." Like, I'm like, no, I just come down with facts because, like I said, I'll show them. I can show them all the evidence. We'll see how they take it.
Like, do you know what a Marxist is? Do you?
Yeah, I know.
No.
No,
You have
I
no
get that.
idea
I'm
what
saying,
Marxism is.
no, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I always
know,
tell
I'm just
people in
saying.
general, like, so, like, the idea of it is obviously amazing. Everybody should be equal and fun and whatever. But I also understand that humans, like all mammals, have a hierarchy, so you just got to deal with it. Like, there's always going to be a person that wants and takes power. So you just hope, as humans, we can pick good people and moral people to be the leaders. You know, it's the best we can do.
It's a weird world.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, name an animal where they're all even. At least a mammal, I don't think you can. I don't think there's no such thing.
I wonder how much brain rot overall fucking plays into this.
Who knows? I feel like kids are actually getting smarter, like with like school stuff, but they're, like I said, they're manipulated by TikTok thinking, aka just short quippy things. So when people like Trump and these other dum dums have short quippy answers, that's all they need. They don't need no more in depth. Yeah. Did you see? So you know about all the drone shit going on, right?
Not really. I've just heard about it.
Okay,
More or
so like
less.
I finally
I
dug
don't know
into
what
it a
it's
little
about.
bit earlier, so I kind of got a better grip. So everyone's all like the drones and drones and like they're gonna fucking kill us or whatever, right? They're spying on us, all the shit. What country is it? So I just found, was it Mayorkas, whatever? He fucking just announced that things New Jersey. He said that they just lifted the law where you can't do drones at dark. So now people are starting to do them more at dark because it's legal. Like it's really that simple.
Huh.
Like it's really just that simple. Like they lifted like the guy. He's like, if there were nefarious things, we'll let you guys know because like he's like the government, like he's like the military is paying attention. Like we know what's happening. We watch them take. You know, he's like it's just most likely just your fucking 15-year-old kid. Because they, like I said, they changed the law in New Jersey where now you can do drones at night.
Huh.
Like it's that simple. But again, if you listen to everybody in the world talking about it now, it's all conspiracy. It's all fucking has to be China. It's got to be Iran. It's got to be Russia. It's got to be whoever. It's like no, it just can't be simple and just be the law changed. And, you know, like it's so simple. It's Occam's razor. Occam's razor is a great thing, man.
It really is.
Like,
it really fucking is.
I tried to tell him, you know, you added like 12 and thens. What are the odds of that all happening? All 12 of them.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whenever there's alternate explanations, I always look for the simplest one. Yeah. It's funny though, because it's not like there at the forefront of the story, you know. Somebody has to come up and be like, "Hey, wait a minute, guys."
Well, like I said, it's like I said earlier with like Biden. If Biden got paid by 7 different people to all get to Biden, if you want to think that way, you'll link every one of them and it'll make perfect sense. Instead of just being like, well, probably just they got paid. You know, like it's probably a much simpler answer, but I have a bias to think that these people are bad, so I will see all 7, 8 of those dots, and they will all connect exactly how I want them to connect. You know.
Well, this shit can't be corroborated either. It's just random YouTube videos or whatever saying this or this. Like, oh, we got a story from this guy. You know, like no, it's bullshit, dude.
I love
You're
that.
just
I love that.
I have
an insider. I have an insider here. It's like okay. I mean, maybe you do. There's probably one in a blue moon that actually do, but guess what? Why the fuck would I trust you for that? Just saying that, nothing else.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to look more into Biden's policies. I need to fucking stay in the loop with politics. Because there's a certain point that I always just check out where I'm like, yeah, this is like I can't figure out what actually is true. Like I don't fucking know. I'm not really gonna worry about it.
Like I said, that's why I kind of started getting better. Just read actual
in my lane. Yeah.
Because, like I said, everyone lies to you about whatever the fuck they thought. You know. Okay, she finally.
I'm gonna stop. Like just. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that chick finally texted me. She said that dude. They flew the dude to Texas Just so they give him ivermectin.
Ivermectin is gonna cure this guy's
Yep.
fucking brain death.
Isn't that
Oh
so?
my
You know,
fucking
you know this
god!
family watches Joe Rogan.
Jesus Christ! How? I don't even get it. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. Yeah, horse dewormer. That's gonna fucking perk him right up. Shove some of that shit up his ass. Fucking good. Fucking ivermectin. My mom talks about shit like med beds, like some secret fucking advanced technology where you just jump in this bed and you're good. Actually, I don't remember who was. Do you remember that chick? What was her fucking name? The chick that went to fucking prison.
Martha Stewart.
No, the medical CEO chick. I forgot her fucking
Medical
name.
CEO.
Medical. Or what is that bitch's name? She's got a very particular face. I don't remember her fucking name. Chick who went to prison for fraud.
Oh, right here, Elizabeth Holmes.
Yes.
She's 40 years old from Stanford. She's incarcerated right now. Wire fraud, 3 accounts. Conspiracy to commit wire fraud, 11 and a quarter years in prison. I didn't actually know about this trick till you just told me about it, so now I'm looking into it.
I mean, it was a fraud.
Yep.
She fucking got people to invest in her company on, for some technology that didn't exist.
In 2015, Forbes named her the youngest and wealthiest self-made female billionaire in America at estimated $9 billion value. And then 1 year later, she got caught for all her bribes as she became the world's 19 most disappointing leaders list.
I
That's
think it's
funny.
kind of funny that she grifted a bunch of fucking
Dude, I mean, it's only
millionaires,
funny because people fucking fall for this shit, but sadly, these are the people that vote for Trump. So, so like, it's kind of funny, but it's sad because you shouldn't do this shit no more. Like, you should be a grown ass adult and realize you're being fucking conned like this.
Yeah, yeah.
My thinking is like,
exactly.
like if you got conned once, maybe, but like if the person keeps coming back to you with more fucking bullshit, I don't know what makes you being like. It's like the religious.
All right,
thing.
I gotta see some results already.
Like
Come
I said, it's a
on.
religious thing, man. I always jokingly say, like, dude, if a chick stood me up on a date like one time, I'd be pissed. After 3 times, I probably never think she's coming back to me again, right? Like,
Yep.
so with God, if God's waited 2,000 years when He said He's gonna come back soon, I'm pretty sure after being stood up for 2,000 years, He ain't coming.
Oh, they call it true believer syndrome, and
Oh, I know.
psychology. Yeah. Same with like fucking cults. The world's ending this day. Oh no, we were wrong. It's actually this day. Yeah, I mean it's the same thing with a lot of the that applies, yeah, to all the shit. Yep. Every single fucking one of them. All the fucking it's coming out. They're coming out with this stuff soon. They're coming out with it. Nope. It never fucking comes out. If I ever bring it up to my mom. Oh, dude, let me see here. I'm gonna look at. I have this channel in my private Discord. Okay, 2022. This summer, the power will go out. Blackouts. That's what she said. There's going to be blackouts. There will be no election this year.
I know.
2022.
Dude.
The stock market will crash before the year's end. Never happened. Biden is going to wave the white flag and surrender to China.
Yep. I already know. Isn't it so
Oh
sad?
my fucking
And
god.
again, how many times can you predict things and be so wrong and then just move on to the next thing and predict more things and then be so wrong and then just like the never-ending cycle, and people keep falling for it again. Then they keep falling for it. It's like that's what the problem is. Like I said, Trump ran on infrastructure bill. Biden got it in, got it done, not him. You know, like Republicans talk shit, but it's actually Democrats that actually do things, get things actually passed, and actually try to do. You know, like they're not the same.
Yeah, they're really not.
You
It's
know?
all bullshit.
Like I
It's
said,
just all continued bullshit that never pans out and
well,
never
dude,
turns into anything. Never.
because you got to think about it. If so, for the right wingers, they're fucking mostly Christian shit. Like I said, they're already basically
Yeah.
they're already grifted just on the idea of believing that shit. So like when you grift them on stupid ass ideas like politics shit or like fake mineral shit or whatever, all these dumb things they buy into, well, it makes perfect sense because you are retarded with your beginning beliefs. That's why I would say like the epistemology, that shit matters because you got to be able to know why you believe what you believe and have good sound evidence.
Overall metacognition, dude. Like, Jesus.
Well, yeah, man. Just that's like I said. That's what I'm trying to stress a lot too. It's like we got to get to the foundation of what you think you know and why you believe what you know, and let's go from there. Hold on.
Yeah, they got people through, yeah, definitely the COVID thing through
Oh, that was the
the
last
whole
big one. Yeah.
distrust, the distrust of, now science.
I mean, it was happening before, but yeah, it definitely got expedited
Well,
so
right.
much.
Mm-hmm. Because fucking anti-vaxxers were looked at correctly as crazy people.
Right?
They were on the fringe, and now we
Like
have, well,
80%.
now the norm is even past that now. The norm has eclipsed,
80%.
the
That's what I would say.
autism.
80% of fucking Republicans now are conspiracy theorists. Almost every one of them. At least they believe in at least, like I said, at least 3 big conspiracies at a minimum.
Yeah,
Like I said,
that's
they think that
a lot.
there's either biolabs in Ukraine. That's why Russia's fighting them. Something like that. Like I'm saying, dude, there's a bunch of bullshit, dude.
Well, it's like, what do you do? How do you make this appear shameful and embarrassing?
That is key. That's why I'm just calling people retarded and shit. People get mad at me and stuff. But I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what? That's what you are. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like you should be called dim-witted. You should be called all these things, dude.
I mean, that's why we don't believe that shit. Well, it's not just that, but
No, yeah,
there's the actual moral fucking conviction, or not conviction, but like integrity.
yeah. Like I said,
And
I
like
wouldn't call people like who are actually retarded. Like
right, yeah.
like and in general, like I said, and for a long time I tried not to use that word and shit because guess what? I know it's not necessarily the best word, but guess what? If like I said, if you can start saying cats and dogs or get eaten by these people, you can say the most racist, horrible things, and that's cool. Well, then fuck using these stupid words that you think are bad, or like I'm gonna use those. These words are open up now. Like I said, you want to play in the mud? I'll play in the mud too. I have no problem.
See, they operate through buzzwords, right?
For fucking
So
sure. Yeah, like I said,
we have to have buzzwords as well. We need to have,
left wing people are
canned
podcast people.
responses.
Left wing people are podcast people, and right wing people are TikTokers. They're all fucking instant. Like I said, quippy. I need my shit in 1 minute. Go. 1 minute. Go. 1 minute. Go.
They're trying to ban TikTok now, so aren't they?
Not
Well, they've always been.
Trump won't do it no more because he's so Trump in his first term flip flopped on it because he said it was bad until the guy paid him a bunch of money or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, TikTok's good." and even he said the other day, he's like, I kind of want to ban TikTok, but he's like, I got to admit, TikTok kind of helped me win the election, so I don't know if I can ban it because I won because of it.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like he's already admitted that he's not going to do it basically because of that too.
It's fucking nuts.
It is fucking nuts. Yeah, this bitch has a crazy story too. I need a deep dive into this bitch too. This Elizabeth Holmes. Crazy. So yeah, this bitch lied about making a new disease. What was it? She could do blood testing with just a finger prick thing, some big invention, and she could. She didn't do it. So like that's why her stock blew up. It blew up fucking $9 billion worth of money because people are like, oh, this is the big future. And then like I said, a year later, like, is this coming out? She's like, yeah, no. I might have misled investors and the government. She said that in 2015.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn, that was actually a long time ago now.
now it is. Yeah. Well, 2018 is when the charges started actually coming. Like 2018, the SEC charged her and a bunch of other people for raising $700 million from investors through fraud involving false and exaggerated claims about the accuracy of the company's blood testing technology. She had to pay 500 grand and had to return 19 million shares of her company, which I can't see how much that was worth. And then she got a 10-year ban of working as a officer or director of a public company. So like really, she got nothing. It was literally a slap on the wrist, really.
And she's in prison for how long?
11 years.
It's
Well,
like
that's just
11
for the
years?
first one.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, yeah, it gets worse.
Oh, she ain't ever coming out. I don't know.
Well, no, it's like 11 years. She's been in jail. What year did she get in? 2018, 2019. So she's been in jail 5 years. So she's almost halfway done. And if she's a good person, she'll probably get out like in 2 more years. If she's been good behavior, bitch.
It's so weird that she just gets like a fucking ban, or like it's like a suspension, not like a fucking lifetime ban. Like what?
So yeah, in 2018, the federal grand jury indicted her and Balwini on fraud. The case ended in January of 2022, so that's when she last went to jail. When Holmes was convicted of defrauding investors and acquitted of defrauding patients. She was sentenced to 11 and a quarter years at federal prison camp Bryan. Oh, she just started it May 30th of 2023.
Oh, okay.
And then she had to pay $452 million back to the victims.
So is this bitch gonna have money when she gets out? Like off of like grifting, basically? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, it depends on how much she saved.
Why are they so light on white collar crimes, man? Like,
Dude,
that's a lot of fucking money.
Well, like I said, dude, think about like how, like I said, going back to how much we blame Mexicans for stealing or whatever. Like, dude, like this kind of crime just did like more money than the Latinos, like all of them put together, is taken. You know, like it's crazy. You know, like
Yeah.
you know, like this one bitch did something worse than all of them combined, but yet we don't give a fuck about. Like I said, these crimes here are just like small. You know,
It's like part of the game to them, you know. It's like
like I said,
she's only wrong because she got caught.
You know, she raised $700 million and she had to spend 452, or yeah, 452. So besides like other lawyers' fees and shit, she might have like $2 to $5 million left when she gets out. If I were to guess.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, she's fine, man. Like, I don't know.
It's
Like,
crazy.
and she's probably living it up in prison too, because prison
Probably.
is not as. I mean, I don't know if it's obviously a female prison, right? And
Yeah,
I
I
don't
would
know
assume
who
so,
knows
yeah.
how many comforts they get, you know.
Yeah, plus being rich always helps everything, literally.
I mean, it's not a female thing that makes her comfortable. It's the, yeah.
It's being rich.
I mean, she ain't getting in the ass. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, they might have some dildos. You never know. Just kidding.
Right, but she probably likes that shit.
Hey, fuck them. Why
Actually, I
not?
don't know.
Whatever floats your boat, mate. All right, you ready to learn about Biden's big policies?
Let's do it.
All right. He started off the year or beginning of his shit was the American Rescue Plan, which is for COVID-19 stimulus, basically $1.9 trillion to help fucking people not go bankrupt. Right? Probably good overall, I would say, because can't be doing that, right?
Yep.
And then what else
1.9
did
trillion.
he?
That's a lot.
Let's see. Is there anything else hidden in this bill? No, pretty straightforward. Gave $300 extra a week. Capped rent and shit to $1,400 a month during COVID.
Huh.
So I mean that was a good one, I would say. And then we got the bipartisan infrastructure act. So we're spending $1 trillion in the next 2 decades rebuilding roads and shit, bridges and all that shit. So good overall, I would say. 73 billion dollars for power infrastructure, and $55 billion for clean drinking water. And
See, if you look at all this stuff, I guarantee you, if you go to any fucking like conservative or libertarian circle that has like, like they're
thinking,
just, it's not even just like the quote unquote dumb conservatives. It's the ones that are,
yeah, the fake centrist.
they use economics. They use economics and shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so they come up with some economic bullshit to, support their shit. Like, oh, but this is what's gonna happen because of what Biden's.
How I would do it is, like I said, if you didn't say this was, if you said Trump put this as a, like, if Trump signed this bill and you explain what the bill was, Republicans would love it. They're like, oh, this is a great bill. But then you go,
Exactly.
oh, this is Biden's fucking infrastructure bill. Well, it's the same thing with the ACL and the Obamacare. That's why I always talk shit about it. It's like, you guys think it's bad because it's Obama's and it's Democrats. Like, that's the only reason why you hate it. Like, literally, that's it. Because if you read the bill, like, if you read what it did, like I said, I showed you earlier, what drugs went down in half price and all this other shit. Like, that's good. But it wasn't your guy, so now you hate it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. He did first major gun safety bill in 2 decades. All right.
Oh, what was that?
I'm
What
about to
did
read it.
that do?
It says, in the wake of the Uvalde shooting and the Buffalo shooting, which together claimed 19 lives of children and 12 adults, Biden signed into the largest. Hold on, let me read this. I got to go to this other article to see what it's about. Hold on. At the time, it seems impossible to get anything done. Okay, it says legislation passed the House 243 to 194 includes incentives for states to pass red flag laws that allows groups to petition courts to remove weapons from people deemed to be threats to themselves or to others. So basically, red flag laws. In addition, the bill expands an existing law that prevents people convicted of domestic abuse from owning guns to include dating partners rather than just spouses or former spouses. So that's cool. If you beat your fucking girlfriend, you shouldn't have a gun. It also expands background checks on people between 18 and 21 seeking to buy a gun. So if you're younger, they're like, hey, show us your shit.
Makes sense. Yeah. Shit.
Yep, that's what it did. I mean, to me, that's
not bad. What? Yeah, exactly. People are so absolutist about
guns,
First
especially
Amendment.
anything
Or
in general.
Second
But
Amendment. Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm saying, if you read that, I don't what the fuck's wrong with that law. Like I said, I love red flag laws. Like I said, if you fucking, like I said, I almost extend it to other people. Like I said, like if my kid's crazy, I probably shouldn't have a gun because my kid could take my gun and go to school and shoot people up. Like even though I did nothing wrong, personally or whatever, but it's someone crazy in my house and they can use it or take it or whatever. So I would, like, personally, I probably would even gone a little bit further,
Yep. I mean, I get it. I do get like how people can be pissed off, but it's all about pragmatism. But then again, when you think about, then I was using an argument like with like the whole bathroom bullshit with trans people. I mean, first of all, like there's only been like what, like there's like it never happens, right? But,
no, obviously, like I said, it would be like you'd hear about it every day if we heard about it if it happened.
Mm-hmm. there's no increased risk of violence because of that. What, anybody can walk in at any time, like, and it's for somebody, dude, it's so dumb.
Well, yeah, I
No.
mean, they should probably cut some of the loopholes to buy guns illegally, and there's things. There's also some things I don't know how you're gonna stop because they got 3D printed guns now. So I mean, there's some things that you just can't even stop. At least I don't know how yet. You got to figure out a way.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, I wonder how big that issue is now.
Oh, it's pretty big. Thing is, so like a 3D gun, it only lasts like 5-6 shots. So it's like,
Oh, okay.
but you can make a gun. You can make fucking. That's why Minnesota's trying to make Glocks illegal here, or sue. They're trying to sue Glock or whatever, because their guns are easiest to make. 3D printed,
Hmm.
or is either that or it's like a couple parts of the gun are super easy to make, or it's something along that line. But it's about 3D printed guns, some with Glocks specifically.
Yeah, there's a lot here. New automatic weapons are more powerful than earlier designs with 3D printed guns. Jeez.
They're stronger.
More powerful than
Yeah.
earlier designs. So I guess they're just getting
they're
better,
getting better
I
at
mean,
it.
of course it would. Of course it would.
Yeah, it's like anything.
Yeah.
All right. So the next bill he signed was the CHIPS Act, like I said. So $53 billion to federal manufacturing of semiconductor chips. So computer parts, that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Of course.
he wants to put $12.5 billion into building an observatory of economic complexity. So I don't even know what that is per se. I can try to Google it.
Guessing.
No, it's about like it's like a company. Oh, it's a company. Okay. It's an American semiconductor company.
Oh, okay.
They're worth $6 billion right now, but there'll be way more with the government money helping. Yeah.
Wasn't Bill saying something about the new NVIDIA chips being like astronomically better at what was it?
Probably
Something.
AI, probably. I mean, everything's AI.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yep. Yeah, that is what it was. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, so then they got the Inflation Reduction Act, which, like I said, helped reduce inflation. But then let's see what else it did. $2 trillion on massive social spending bill. What is this?
Ooh.
I don't know. Let me see here. Voted. Let's say it's meant to be full of promises.
Right.
Build
Over
back
several
better.
years.
Basically, is build back better bullshit. Let's see what it was. Let me get to the money. Let's see what it's supposed to do. All right, here's what it does. $550 billion to address climate change through incentives and tax breaks. Fund and extend the expanded monthly child tax credit for a year. Housing assistance, including $150 billion on affordable housing expenditures. Expansions of Medicaid and further assistance to reduce the cost of healthcare premiums. So that's what we were reading about earlier with healthcare prices going down because of this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Given male or female, give you 4 weeks paid leave for babies.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
might not even be enough, but you know.
hey, it's a start.
Yeah, it
Women
is a start,
used to
yeah.
get 6 weeks, so women actually lose some, but now men both get it, so they can both like take turns.
Mhm.
Funding for universal pre-K, so for roughly 6 million kids for three. So
That's
every
good.
3-4 year
Yeah.
old should get. Yeah, and it's only $6 million, which that does nothing compared to what we spend. Like for everything. A provision allow Medicare B and D to negotiate prices directly. So, like I said, we talked about it. So, seniors cap out at $2,000 a year. That's the most they can pay a year. And then it caps monthly insulin at $35.
Oh, okay. Yep. That's great. Yep. Fuck yeah. I mean, see, here's the thing, right? There's two different fucking angles these people take on it, right? He's making sure people are taken care of, and then other people will say, "Oh, what about the long-term effects on our economy?"
Here you go. You
like
ready?
that.
I got, because they actually have this in this bill. So it says, here's how they offset, like how we spending all this money. This is what they plan on doing. A $5 surtax on taxpayers with personal income of $10 million, an additional 3% on people $25 million or more. So if you make $25 million, you're paying 5% more taxes, so they're paying for it. A 15% minimum tax on corporate profits or large companies that report over $1 billion of profit. So That's who's paying for it. A 1% tax on stock buybacks, so that's big companies, and a 15% minimum tax on foreign profits on U.S. corporations. So if you build in Mexico, their base is there, you get 15% tax. So yeah, the richest motherfuckers are paying for this, but people act like you're paying for this, like me and you. Like no, they give you the blueprint. Like how are you gonna pay for whatever it was $550 billion? Well, they're gonna tax the richest motherfuckers the most. Hey, they're the ones that can do it, right? But it's funny
Curious how that
that they
affects
trick
wages,
people into
but
thinking that we pay, like me and you. That's what's so funny.
yeah,
They trick the people like, oh man, your taxes went way up because of this bill. It's like, actually, if you read it, no one did
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like if you actually read what's in it, no one did it. That's what I'm saying.
See,
If
they
people
make
actually
that
just,
general assumption.
well,
Yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
they've been told that's what it does because they're dumb. But like I said, if you actually
yeah.
just read the fucking bill, it tells you exactly what the
Any
fuck's in it.
any fucking government spending to them increases everybody's taxes.
You know.
Here's the thing though, like if you tax the rich, like where's that money gonna go afterward? It's gonna go somewhere else. Like it's going to go into fucking more jobs. That's just how it works. Like
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I get so like I get it's kind of like communism and Marxist and all that shit. I get the idea of trickle down in economics. Like in theory, it makes sense. Obviously, if the
yeah,
top people are making more money, hopefully they keep spreading more down to you. Like in theory, I understand it should be that way, but it isn't. Like I said, I always think of an idea like if a company makes, I don't know, if like Walmart makes probably like $100 billion a year in revenue. So let's say their profits are probably like $2 to $4 billion a year, maybe. They should be able to give everyone fucking like $500 to $1,000 bonus every year.
yeah,
Like,
yep.
like somewhat like something, something along the lines of profit sharing, but not like all the way because then it gets too crazy. Some people want to do way too much money and shit. But like I said, just something like that. Like give the people back 2 to 5% of your fucking profit. Give everyone just a little chunk. Make everyone
Mm-hmm.
happier. Make your workers happier. Probably want to work for you more. Just things. Just things like that.
I mean, everybody bitches about the companies bragging about profits, and then it's like, oh, what about us? What about the fucking little
Yeah.
tiny piddly
Tiny
we
Tim
got?
over here, right?
Yeah,
I mean, who? I don't know. Like I said, if you got to charge corporations a little bit more to get people better health care, or like the other ones help take care of the climate and stuff better, this. I don't know why people think that would be a bad idea. Like I said, I bet you if I'd have read those things,
propaganda.
if I'd have said Trump did all these things and I read just the numbers, like I said, if I read just the way I just did it, I guarantee you they'd think most of this is good ideas.
Yeah,
Until they find out this is. But again, this is what Biden did. I'm not even. And then they got the last big thing was the Ukraine defense. We helped give them a bunch of money, obviously. So I mean, those are the big things that Biden passed in his 4 years. Trump did one thing. He did a tax cut for the rich.
Okay. How much money have we sent to Ukraine?
Actual money, I think it's like $40 billion. Like actual cash.
Today it's a 61 bill. But dude, that ain't shit.
No, because we spent. I think we spent like militarily wise. I think we spent about 400 billion, maybe 300 billion. I think is what we've given them. If you count the military.
My mom says shit like, "Oh, we're spending all this money to Ukraine, but we got all these starving children or whatever." Like,
I know.
You think your buddy isn't gonna fucking feed these kids? That's what I really should be saying. Like you.
Well,
like,
yeah. They always talk about the vets at home, which I get. Obviously, the vets fucking who doesn't want to take care of them? Everybody does. But it's like I said, it's the same as blaming the Latinos for their $30 billion we might spend on them. It's like that's just buckets of nothing compared to what we actually spend on everything.
It is. Military budget's like 900 mil or bill or something like that.
I think it's 770, something like that. But Medicaid for us is $1.2 trillion. Like I said, I always joke, but it's kind of serious. This old people living forever is actually the fucking Latinos of what they hate. Like they are the fucking moochers. You get free money for 30 years.
Yeah.
If you lived to if you lived to 90 years old, you get free money for 30 years. You are literally the scum of the earth. What people hate is what you are. And I don't blame you.
that's
It's not your
funny.
fault that they're living old, but it's just like, no, man. Like that's what's killing us a
Kind of
lot.
projection. It really is kind of projection. Maybe like I wonder. I don't know.
Kinda. I mean, I guess the federal
That's
government
so true though.
is spending $6.75 trillion 2 years ago. But yeah, Social Security and Medicaid make up almost half our budget now. Like
Oh,
37% of our budget is just those two. Defense is
Jesus
14%.
Christ.
And then actual health care is 13%. Not even Medicaid.
Dude, I didn't even realize that much with the Social Security.
Dude, yeah, dude.
Holy fuck. I mean, it makes sense. It adds up. You're literally paying these people like a salary of sorts to
Yeah,
live.
you're paying them like you're paying them like $2,000-$3,000 a month to live. And you're like I said, when it was planned, you were living like 6 to 8 years. It wasn't that big of a deal. But now you're fucking living. Like I said, people living to 90s and shit. Like you're on that shit for 30 years. Literally just
They're
siphoning
gonna have
money.
to be put to work or something. I don't know.
Well, they've been.
Or I
That's
don't
what's.
even
It
know.
sucks for us because they've been raising the age of it. Used to be 60 or 62. Now it's like 66, 7.
Yeah.
So it's gonna affect us.
Nobody wants to work that long, but
again, you're living longer too overall.
well, how
Not
much
everyone.
how much time do you get for vacation?
0.
0?
Like actually paid. Like actually, I mean, I could take a vacation,
Yeah.
but I don't get paid for it. It's like I gotta fucking. I always say
I mean, it's
whatever
service
it
industry,
costs me
so-
to go there is costs me to not work too. So I get double fucked.
Yeah,
when
for sure.
when I actually go on like a week-long vacation.
See, vacation needs to be like quote unquote mandatory. Like that shit.
Yeah, like the
Like-
Swedens and shit. I guess.
Yeah,
I can see
yeah,
that.
exactly.
I mean, I get
That needs to be a thing. I mean, it's gonna come. Like
it's quality of life.
we're just behind. We're just behind.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the bar will have to fucking hire more people. I don't know.
Well, yeah, you just have to tell everyone I have to work harder for a week. Be like, hey, can you pick up? You guys both pick up 2, 3 shifts for a week. That's all it is.
I suppose, yeah.
Like if you pick up 2, you pick up 3, cool. Then in like a week and a half, you pick up 2, you pick up 3, cool.
I assume most people that work there have pretty much been doing that most of their fucking work
Yeah.
career. Like
In bars,
my
and stuff,
buddy. Yeah, my buddy's a cook, and that's all he's fucking done.
Yeah.
He's a chef now for Golden Valley Country Club. But yeah.
But yeah, he's never had. Well, maybe now, but before he's never had paid vacation ever.
I don't even know if he has it now, to be honest.
I'm saying he might not,
He
but
is-
I'm saying I get. But yeah, cooks and shit, they don't get vacation,
His
not paid
salary.
vacations.
Yeah. And service industry. That's a big part of our economy, though. I guess that's actually fucked up. It's a big part of our economy,
Yeah.
but
So how about this?
you don't get
Okay,
vacation.
so like people don't realize. So we have mandatory and discretionary funds, right? So like mandatory is like your Medicaid, like and shit we have to spend. Like we already have it. It's already been spent, right? We already know what happens.
Mhm.
That's $3.8 trillion. And then we have our discretionary, which we can fuck around money. It's 1.7 trillion.
Dude, service economy or service industry was 77.6% of the country's GDP in 2021.
Yep.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, because it includes transportation and warehousing.
Mhm.
That's weird.
Dude, like I said, people act like they're poor
makes sense.
or like everyone's so poor and shit. But Uber Eats sells like $3 billion every 3 months, so like $1 billion a month. And you know how much
service
Uber
includes a lot
Uber
of shit.
Eats is? Like that shit's hella expensive.
Of course it is. Yeah. Yep.
I'm just saying, but people act like they're poor. Oh no, I lied. It sold $11 billion a quarter. So Uber Eats this year sold about $40 billion worth of product. $40 billion. But people act like they're
Jesus.
poor. But they'll overspend and waste money on bullshit like this. It's just silly. That's why I always tell people when people bitch about the economy. I'm like, it's not that bad. And people are like, what do you mean? You see the price of this shit? I'm like, yeah, I see what people spend money on. People are retarded. It's fucking nuts. It is. It's to me, it's fucking crazy.
We're in a weird fucking place.
For fucking sure.
Really fucking weird place. Cause yeah, we are all like I fucking complain all the time. All the fucking time. And what am I complaining about? Fucking nothing. Not really.
Kind of
I'm
depends.
complaining. I complain because I don't like I don't like fucking bosses. I don't like workplaces. I
No,
don't
I
like.
get that.
I don't want to feel. I don't want to feel. You know, confined and held back in any sense.
Yeah. But
I'm
in
fucking
the end,
whining for nothing.
in the end, working I think is just good for like your like it sucks in a way, but it's also good because you get the sense of accomplishment and shit. Like
It
you
is,
said.
and then when you actually get free time, you know, it has value.
Yeah, for sure. You know. Oh yeah, it does. It changes your whole perception of like just your normal day life. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good for you. It's good for you to get the fuck out of the house and
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm
like,
saying.
oh,
Like
I'm driving to work. I enjoy the ride to work. Like I don't hate it
no, I
because I
enjoy it
never.
most of
I
the
mean,
time, unless it's sun in
yeah,
my eyes, shit like that. Like there's random
get
times where it
fucking
sucks. Like fuck you.
like no, I don't want to go in the building, but you know, it's not really that bad.
Yeah. For
I
me,
don't
it
know.
depends who's there. Like I said, if I can get good conversations at the bar, my day goes by so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
I smoke less cigarettes and all that kind of shit because it's just easier. But man, some days, like I said, the days where I just hear all the pro Trumpers and I just have to just sit there and not call them fucking retards because they're my customers. But fuck, man, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, that would be rough. But yeah, good conversation makes the whole thing go faster. I was
Yeah.
working at a paper company before. I like set up the machines and shit. A little bit. Like I didn't really like calibrate shit, but I like put the paper rolls on top of on the racks or whatever the roll thing. I don't know, the thing that it rests on, and then the machine pulls it through, like feeds it in. So we were cutting basically rolls into sheets for the customers.
Yeah. So
Wasn't that bad.
my mom went from bartending to fucking a bakery job. She didn't mind it for like a year or two, but then she fucking hated it because she's like, "This is boring. Same shit every day. Same."
Yeah, dude,
You know.
that's the thing that sucks with like every job I've had has been pretty much the same, other than the one in it was it's a fucking like party event rental company, Linen Effects in Minneapolis. So we would go to all sorts of different places. I went to the Viking Stadium to set up an event.
Oh really?
Went to all sorts of country clubs, weddings. Like it wasn't bad at all, but the pay was shit.
No, I know. That's the whole thing too. It's all about being like just fair. Like, you know, if I gotta work my ass off, I better at least get paid pretty fucking well versus, you know, if I get to be lazier, I guess you don't pay me as much. I get it, you know.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't really get is so many of these jobs that are harder labor do pay less just because it's less qualifications. Like, no, dude, fucking pay me more. I have to do this and not go to school. Not, you know, well, I mean, obviously people can work and go to school, but it's a lot. It's hard.
Oh yeah, dude, if
I,
you're like an 18 to 20-year-old fucking having to do everything by yourself, dude, that's tough. Having to work, you know,
hmm
you go to school for 6, 7 hours and you have to go to fucking work for 6, 7 hours right after. Yeah. Those kids deserve a lot of props.
Absolutely, because all their friends are fucking
They don't even have
fucking
friends,
off.
honestly. You can't.
Yeah,
That's the
for
thing,
sure.
honestly. You just can't have friends. You're fucking. You're a slave to your future. You're like, all right, I need money now, but I also need to do this shit really good so I get it money later. You know, you're very
It's a
goal
lot.
oriented, which is rare
People
for.
that work two jobs, like fuck.
That's later in life for sure. Yeah,
Champion. Yeah, yeah. It's
that's like
usually like,
the
yeah.
18, 19-year-old that fucking gets knocked up. You know, and if let's say I'm saying
Yeah.
like let's say the dad randomly does stay. You know, doesn't like not a piece of shit dad and leaves. It's like dad that stays. He'll probably work two jobs though. You know,
hmm
I can definitely see that happening.
That's like one of the major reasons I'm fine with abortion, man, because dude, fucking get that shit out of you. Fucking
Oh
make
yeah.
sure you're ready. Like, no, dude, no.
Oh yeah, man. I mean
How
that's
many people fucking have kids? Dude, there's so many fucking people that have
a lot.
kids.
I mean
Like,
it's
why
a
are we
lot.
so
It's a
worried about
lot
the book?
less than it was. Like, so women don't get. don't have as many kids now because they work. They're also business women and shit now. Like they're not just fucking servers. They come back home real quick. A lot of these bitches now are business women, nurses, doctors. So they have real careers. So they push their shit off to like 34, 5. So they might only have one kid now versus having like 4 or 5 like we used to.
Damn.
I think right now the birth rate in America is like 1.7 per woman. So it's actually I think it's like the lowest it's been in forever. Yeah, 1.66 kids per woman. In 1960, we were having almost 4 kids per woman.
2022, 48% of Asian women in the United States were childless.
Asian women, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see here.
Be
so how about this? I was born in 87. So when I was born, it was 1.87 per person. Now it's 1.66. That's how much it dropped. So not a lot, but still plummeting though. But also, people don't also realize we had the fucking baby boomers. So like, we also had a big peak. Like our highs. Because like I'm looking at like the 60s and shit. I'm like, oh yeah, man, that's baby boomer era. Like, we had a big boom. So like, maybe this is the average. Like, at least the modern average from like 1970, it was 1.88 to now it's 1.66. And it's kind of been that whole range for 50 years. So
that's really not that. Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I'm saying now that I'm actually looking at
it. People are always, dude. Seriously, just let the fucking Latinos in. Let them dude. You guys are fucking so dumb. People are so fucking dumb.
They are. Well, like I said,
little fucking
just jobs.
Maria or whatever, fucking wipe your grandma's ass, and dude,
right?
And we're all set.
Well, it's not even. I mean, that's part of it. Just let them fucking pick corn and strawberries and do that shit. Like that's
seriously.
I mean, that's what they mainly do. At least in like Californians and shit. That's what a lot. Like at least a lot of the women and shit. They work on the farms. Hey, ¿qué pasó? Can you pick strawberries and berries? Yes, I can. Like I said, then that person you're probably paying like $2 to $4 an hour. Well, now you're gonna pay gringo. It's gonna be 15 an hour, or if not more. Again, I don't know why you don't think the price of shit's not gonna skyrocket like everyone's been predicting, but apparently he's smart. He's smarter than all of us.
So fucking weird. People, I swear, I don't know what it is. Do people just come up with bullshit to whine about because we fucking have to as humans? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we're never gonna be content. Humans in general, we always want more or better.
Yeah.
So I mean, even if things were like 96% perfect, people would bitch about the 4%. Don't matter.
Let's think about like how many luxuries we have that we just don't need. Like the nice homes we don't really fucking need. Like.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's part of it. Like I told people the other day about like older people, like at least I think my dad's gonna sell his house eventually once it's all situated. But like, how many old folks have like their first house they bought where it's like 5 bedrooms, nobody lives there but them. It's like, can you downsize and let an actual family move in? Who really needs this house?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't, which drives the prices up, of housing because you don't have as many houses available because a lot of these old folks are sitting on them. I don't know.
Right.
And I kind of get it because obviously you don't want to move, but it's like I said, it's the extraordinary big houses that matter. Like if I always tell Brianna when we moved in here, I'm like, this is probably my forever house because it's not a big house. It's like 1,500 square feet. It's not huge, but it'll be easy to take care of when I'm old.
It's probably like my brother's house.
Yeah, like I said, it's not that big. It's nice. It's got nice features. Like I said, I got solar panels and shit like that. So I mean, I'm making my house G'd
You don't
up.
you don't need a lot. You just don't like.
No, it's just when I first moved into the house,
like I bought maybe. But,
so when I bought this house, the guy, my realtor dude, told me basically the only thing I need to really upgrade is windows. So I bought 3 out of 5 windows the first year I moved in. I still haven't bought the last 2 because then I bought solar panels next. I was like, fuck it, I want those first because I don't want to pay electricity bill ever again. That's beautiful. What? So now all I got left, I got to do 2 more windows, and I'm good for probably 15, 20 years. because the guy that I bought the house from renovated this house a lot, so I got lucky. Like he
Oh,
put
yeah.
in like new siding, new roof, new whatever. Like it was all like within like 6 years old when I bought it. And it should go to like 25
Okay.
years, give or take. That's what they estimate. So I'm like, all right, so I actually have like 16 years of no real big house issues. I hope, you
Then
never know, but
in your 50s, you're like, fuck this shit.
yeah.
No, you're not. No.
Hopefully by
But
then I got.
you get to do it slowly over time. You get to fucking maybe anticipate it unless you wait until everything.
No, I'm not one of those. Like I
fucking
said,
goes
that's why
wrong,
I got
but-
the solar panels when I was young, because like it takes 25 years. I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna pay it off like in 10. Get this debt out of here quick,
Oh, yeah.
because it cost me about $120 to have solar panels, but it's like a 25-year loan. It's like the same as the house.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I just give them like 160. So I overpay a little bit. So which I'm like, all right, that should knock off like 10 years.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't pay shit for electricity pretty much ever. Maybe now in the wintertime a little bit, but the summertime and shit is beautiful.
Yeah, dude, that'd be great. No reason not to fucking do that, dude. Get fucking yeah.
And again, it helped because fucking Biden upped the fucking solar tax credit. So when I first did it, I was only going to get 20. The government was going to pay me 20%. Well, then Biden got elected and upped it, so now I got 35% off, or whatever, 30 or 35% off.
Yeah.
So I was like, so again, it added incentive to be like, oh man, I should help make the fucking earth green because they pay me to do it, and it'll save me money long term. It's like they're all good things, man. It's all good things. If people talk shit about it for some reason, I just don't get why. Like you're helping the world, you're making things more affordable. I don't see the downfall, but some people do.
It's I don't know, man. It's some sissy like you're fucking hippie,
You're a
Shit,
hippie.
I don't fucking know.
No, I know. Oh, dude, for sure, it's the libtards and all that
Attitude,
shit.
attitude, man. Just attitude, not thought.
Well, like I said, I think a lot of it is if you said
Identity.
policies without the D or the R, you just should we do this? I think most people would probably get the right answer. But once you add
Yep.
the fucking the D or the R or whatever the fuck it is, people lose their mind.
Yep, ideology.
A lot of it is because, like I said, you just look at raw numbers and raw data. You'll see. You could, like I said, we live in the information age, man. You can literally 3 Google clicks away, you can figure out pretty much anything, any topic. It's not hard. You just gotta read.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
Exactly. Yeah. Dude, maybe people just can't fucking read. Maybe people just cannot
That
fucking
is
do
probably
it. I don't
true.
know.
No, that mean I knew all that's getting worse.
I don't know.
Hold on.
That's why we need fucking universal secondary education.
The average adult, no, the average American spends only 19 minutes a day reading.
I mean, I'm not reading books, but I know.
No, that's what it doesn't
depends on
specify. I don't think.
that. Yeah.
Because that's what I'm trying to figure out if it does talk about mostly books or whatever or not. 79% of people are literate. So 79% of people can read. So 21% of people cannot read in America.
That's alarming. I wonder how many that is.
Hold on. 54% of adults have a reading level below 6th grade.
God. See, I wonder what that is. There's got to be some certain words or like reading comprehension.
No, I think it's just.
or-
I think honestly, you're poor. Well, mostly because I'm guessing they're from poor areas where they just don't give a fuck. I mean, that's mostly
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
When you care
Don't give a
about
fuck.
when you have to care about eating food or mom's gone or whatever, she doesn't. Nobody's there to help you read. All that kind. I mean, it all stems from that kind of stuff. I think more than anything. But even them though, like if you look, I bet if I look at states and stuff, I bet it's the fucking. Let's see here, New Mexico is the dumbest state. has the lowest child literacy rate. Massachusetts has the highest uh, children literacy rate. New Hampshire has the highest adult reading, and California has the least for adults.
The
That
least
make
for adults.
Yeah, but that because
Oh.
they have Latinos and shit.
Yeah,
And that
that's what I
that kind of
figured,
makes sense because you have a lot of, like I said, non-Americans. So that one kind of does make sense. But I'm saying Massachusetts and New Hampshire are fucking left-wing states, and they read the best. It's like anything
Yep.
else. The people who are smartest are usually in the left wing. Not always, but usually.
Yeah, because like, where do you think most of these fucking principles of like freedom and like then the Enlightenment and science and just all of it fucking comes from the left, which was
Well, it's
like,
just
I mean, I'm sure
liberalism.
well, you know about like the left right split as
Hmm.
far as like history
Yeah,
goes,
the
like,
swap.
yeah, well, no. So like one of the theories, like, or just I don't know if it's Marx or just somebody, uh, like history moves from right to left, right? Like there's the right is aligned with tradition. So it comes from the French Revolution. The people that were on the side of the king at the, I don't know, weird Congress thing or whatever. I don't know. I don't know much about the French Revolution, but the people that were aligned or allied with the king were on the right of the fucking Congress or whatever, and then
Yeah,
people that were
authoritarians
against
are
the
right.
king,
Yeah, that's usually
yeah,
how it goes.
they were on the left.
Yep.
So like that's how it's been since then. That's
I
like the
wouldn't say that's
description.
how. I mean, kind of in a way. So I mean, technically before them, so America started in 1776, obviously. So we're about 13, 14 years before the French Revolution. But in the very beginning, even of America, there was the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. So the Federalists would tend to be the liberal thinkers, and the Anti-Federalists tend to be the conservative thinkers. I mean, it was even in the beginning of America. It was when people always act like no states' rights was always this way. It's like, dude, no, it's never been concrete ever. Like I said, you can read both sets of papers. There's the Federalist Papers and the Anti-Federalist Papers, and they both just basically put all their arguments down, saying why we should have a big government and why we shouldn't have a big government. We should be all states' rights. It's
Mm,
never been settled. And it's always been kind of a debate.
yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
liberals in general tend to be for bigger government because they want freedom, people's freedoms. They want to dictate freedom for people, not the authoritarian style, which is usually the right wing in general.
right. So there's those like basically two different conceptions, right, of left and right, like the American one, then the one that's probably from Europe.
Yeah, probably. I mean, technically, yeah. That's why I just preface this liberalism in general because
Well, I
liberalism is
guess
liberalism is the idea of freedom. Like personal freedom. Like unless I hit you, I just shouldn't matter what I do. Unless I spit, like unless I do something to you personally, what I do shouldn't matter.
well then there's like the idea of like different axes, political axes. So there's like, like you've probably seen the fucking like XY
Yeah,
axis
for sure.
graph thing,
Yeah,
yeah,
because nobody's like I said, even me. Like I'm not gonna be all left or all because nobody should.
yeah.
You should, in general, you should never all the way agree with anybody. Like all the way, you should always disagree. So because you're all individuals. If
Well, left right
if
labels sucked anyways,
Yeah, that's
honestly,
like I
but
said.
yeah,
That's why I try to preface this. It's this liberalism. The idea of being a liberal, classical
yeah,
liberal,
yep.
fucking. I should have freedom of speech. I should have freedom of sex. I should have freedom of body. I should have freedom of whatever. All that kind of shit. Barring me
Social,
fucking your day
yeah.
up. Touching you. Hurting you, spitting on you, whatever. That's where the line crosses. That's where it becomes illegal now.
Comes to rational, fucking informed morality versus, non-rational and taboo and tradition-based morality,
Yeah.
like this is our value. We're not gonna fucking analyze why it's our value, but it's that's what we believe
Well,
in.
we're social creatures, man, and we also like I said. I mean, the easiest way is the fucking golden rule. You know, I
Well,
don't, I don't, I don't, I
there's a
don't
lot
want,
of
I
going
don't
into
want to
that.
be killed, so I don't kill. I don't want to be hit. I don't hit. I don't want to be raped. I don't rape. It's really not much harder than that, honestly.
There's
Like,
there's like a moral intuition that everybody has, and
I wouldn't say that.
interestingly, I think
only
They're
because
they're
only
well,
because like I say, go back to like the gang people. Like, well, they were raised in a different environment, dude. So guess what? They don't necessarily think
oh,
things are bad, or like what I would consider bad is not bad to them. You know, I think stealing's horrible and fucking one of the worst things you can do. But I'm not super poor. Where guess what? I don't know if I'm going to eat for the next day or two. So stealing to them is probably not that bad. You know. So it just comes out. There's a lot. Everything comes down to where you started, where you've been in life. You know, in general. In
okay, so
general,
morality is
I
spread
get
out
your
to
point, but
four parts
there's
of the
always
brain.
there's always holes.
There's a lot that goes into what makes people moral and what doesn't. Like, it all comes down to whether you're like able to empathize and
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
whether you see the
if you can
value of,
feel
say,
other people's feelings, yeah, dude, you're gonna be much more
compassion.
sympathetic.
See, like there is a uh, it's hard to explain. There's a lot that goes into it though. Like,
Like anything else, very complicated.
yeah, morality is super complicated as far as like historical
Well,
development and
well, it is, but like I said,
psychology goes, and
but like I said, to me, if you just want to go the most pragmatic and like I said, simple, if you want to sound like Trump, like I said, it's just the fucking I don't want to be raped, so I won't rape people. You know, I don't want to be killed, so I don't kill people. You know, like
well, that's
that's just,
yeah.
it's
And
really
then
simple.
there's that, and then there's like the categorical imperative kind of like expands on that,
You know,
which takes like anything if you universalize it.
there's no universals
it
to me. That's where I differ. I don't say
no,
there's
no.
okay.
Well, it's just like the idea is for anything that you consider um as like whether we should make it permissible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say I talked about this before, like theft, right? So if you universalize that, like what happens? Like fuck, I'm not explaining this well. I don't explain anything well in real time.
That's all right.
uh fuck.
You
But
saying
it's
universal debt?
different than the golden rule, but it's not quite.
Well, yeah.
He so like Immanuel Kant uh posited the categorical imperative as like it he calls it like a like deontological
Yeah,
ethics and
ontological.
deontological. So it's like I don't know why he called it. I did know why he called it deontological, but it's based upon. Oh, okay. See, it's all technical philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's just a moral standard, a standard without referencing like the act itself, I guess. Like I don't know exactly how to say it,
So
but
you're saying like
it's like the golden rule, but not.
so
Like
you're saying you
it's
do
like
something without knowing it per se? Like
uh-uh,
you might be
uh-uh.
good and not know it.
Well, I guess that's possible, right? But the whole thing is like if you take something and you universalize it, what happens, right? Like it's bad for everybody, right?
Or technically good for
So
everybody. Either way, but yeah.
yeah, it's like a just a way of sort of
I get it.
processing it or whatever,
I
you know.
mean, I would disagree with that only because, like I said, I don't believe in objective when it comes to like that kind of stuff. Because like I said, even if you say killing's wrong, you're gonna find times where killing's good. You know, like so
Oh yeah,
there's
yeah.
always
Oh
good.
no, I'm not a moral absolutist in
No,
any
yeah,
sense,
I'm
and
just saying, but
neither
yeah,
was
when
he.
people,
I don't think,
yeah, I'm
but
saying, when people think that way, it's like I get it. Like in general, they're right, but they're not only because there's always gonna be fucking plot holes. You know, like there's always gonna be a circumstance. Like I said, homie that can't eat. Well, guess what? If he robs to eat food, well, is it really wrong? Probably not. You
yeah,
know.
yeah,
But
yep,
in general, I
yep.
think thieves are shitty human beings. Like in general, like that's what I think. You know. But there are
If
circumstances.
you're able to work and you're not or whatever, or if you're shoplifting at fucking Walmart, or I mean, there's arguments to
Yeah,
make
I'm saying
that
there.
okay, but
Yeah, for sure. I'm saying there's times where at least you could sway me to believe in your side more than others. You know. But
so I would say I believe in an objective morality. I do not believe in an absolute morality. You know what I mean? So it's situation
yeah,
based,
I mean,
but it's
kinda. I mean, I guess the best I would say is that you can get studies and information that could tell you that it lends to be this way, like it's more right. You know, like let's say like if there's a study that says like 80% of times, it's fucking bad stealing, but you find out 20% of the time it's good. You know, is it You know, you could at least you could be objective, be like, you know, we actually have a number. This is how many people steal. Where at least I can agree with them. You know, so that could be objective. If we could ever get, if we,
My reasoning for it is complicated. Like, it all comes down to like it there because I look at it as mostly interpersonal, right? Like I connect everything to interpersonal and mental health and everything. So,
for sure.
and that's where moral intuitionism comes into play. Is you assess the moment.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what action is best for this person? How can I improve this person or like not harm them? And that's, you know,
Yeah. No, but I get what you're saying. But like I said, so if you want to go like the abstract or the big version of it, you have to do that with laws now. So you have to start trying to figure out like for the masses of people.
yep.
You know,
Yep.
that's the difference. Like I said, so that's why I'm saying you can like there's individual feelings and stuff, and I totally get that. But you also got to try to like break it down to the abstract. Like what would be best for 400 million people? You know, that's not sometimes it's a hard question to answer because you know 400 million different
Yeah.
ideas. You know.
Well, everybody, I think will align based on, well, you just look at mental health, man. Like, I just think that that's where everything comes together. Like, everything comes
Do you
together
think people
there.
are better with it, or not better? Like, is it easier to talk about? You think now than before?
Oh, definitely. Well,
Okay.
no doubt.
Okay.
Dude,
I think so
fucking
too. But
100% when I was a teenager or late 20s or not late 20s, late
yeah,
teens.
especially as a man,
And
for sure.
I had like anxiety. Yeah, dude, as a man, dude,
Hmm.
fuck. You don't want no fucking woman or other mans, you know, but now it's fine. If you fucking like, I don't know, stutter or stammer or whatever, like, who
Whatever.
gives a
Right?
fuck?
You look nervous, but like, yeah, because I am. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it
you
doesn't
don't have
fucking
to be.
matter.
Like, you know, they'll try to usually help you or whatever. But yeah.
Yep, exactly. And I think it probably was bad. Like, it probably wasn't as bad then as we made it out to be because see, it's all a social norm thing, right? Like, it's all about like how everybody else responds to shit, and then you respond that way, you know, and then this shit evolves. It's the moral zeitgeist or whatever,
Hmm.
basically. It affects outcomes. So you don't. We should never act in a certain way that exacerbates mental illness.
Yeah.
Oh, see, here's the thing. I don't even like mental illness as a concept because it's just fucking emotions in the
Yep.
end. And then when you
Well, some
when you put a
some
label
some
on it,
some
it
people have
exacerbates it
different
or
brains. I mean, there are
perpetuates it.
some with the brains, like
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
different triggers or whatever the fuck. So like some of it, but in general, yeah, it's mostly you're just you got to learn to control your emotions in a better way than what you do. You know.
Like a lot of what Patrick talks about is not letting a label or a mental illness stop you or like, you know,
Change who you are, make you think lesser, kind
no,
of thing.
like fucking not let it absolve you of responsibility.
Okay, yeah.
So like if you have ADHD or whatever and you blame your problems on it, like no, dude, you don't get to do that. Like you should not do that. Like not even it's not even like a you don't get to do that thing is you should not fucking do that.
You shouldn't
Just
want
straight
to.
up.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. It's the same thing as like people are always like, there's the people that abuse welfare, and obviously there are some, but dude, you know how many people don't want to abuse the welfare because they don't want to feel like shitty human beings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like in general, like just you know,
I'm not even
some.
sure if that's I'm how many people do abuse welfare?
I looked it up
I mean
once. It's
that's
not that much. Not nearly as much as people. You know, again, it's all pennies on the dollar when you fucking look at it all like our grand scale of everything.
and then it's like you have to prove it too, so to get the stats.
Well, like I said, I can look. I've looked this up before. I'll see if I can find some quick.
I assume that this would be proven.
Well, at least they have some numbers. You know, let's see. These are all the countries of America. So
Oh yeah, and I think things like psychosis even is socially like brought on in a sense. Like
sometimes, I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is, until you actually look at someone's brain, you technically will never know, and that's the thing. Like
just like somebody
you know,
acting
it'd
a
be better
certain
like
way,
if we had
which
universal health
is in the
care.
label.
If we had universal health care like people in Canada, would it be cool? Like if you go get a CAT scan to see what your brain looks like, so you can see like, oh man, this part of your brain is deteriorating, or it's good, or whatever, so you kind of at least have an idea what you
There-
might have
There's
for.
a concept called hypersanity,
Okay.
and this concept basically is that one is so sane that you appear insane to regular people.
Yeah,
So like that's another element to it.
it's
So
the
people,
Einstein
yeah, like
effect.
people
Like,
who are very altruistic, like say Jane Goodall, and I wouldn't count Mother Teresa because she's a cunt, but
right. But that idea
you know, anybody who's just
for the
so
people.
aware that they act a certain way that other people can't understand, they can't empathize with it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that, like, of course, that, like, if somebody reaches a certain level of consciousness and, it makes them care more about something that than other people do, like, yeah, they're gonna look insane, but they have real points probably, If, yeah. I think I've crossed into that area sometimes, but I know how to reel myself back and
Mm-hmm.
ground myself. But I don't think there's anything wrong with actually being hyper sane. I would say that honestly, that's part of what my overall goal is like higher consciousness,
Yeah.
basically. Like so much of my thinking just goes toward like enlightenment, fucking Ubermensch, and all this shit, unlocking your fucking latent potential,
Yeah, like I just told my
and
girlfriend the other
how
day.
to
I just want to be the
seal
best
other
version
people
of,
off.
like, we were talking about something. I was like, you know what? I just want you to be the best version of you, and I just want me to be the best
Yep.
version of me, because then us together could be the ultimate being for like
That's simple
together.
shit.
Like that's all it really
But
comes down to.
people, yeah.
Like she wanted to, we were arguing about something stupid. I'm like, I get we're arguing and blah blah blah, but just know, like, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to fucking like put you down. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I just want you to be the best you, and I want me to be the best me. Like
Yep.
it's for both of us.
Yep.
Like
Absolutely. Yeah.
sometimes stuff
And
comes
you
out
see
wrong or stupid, but but in the end, that's what I want everything to
now
be.
what happens when that becomes the attitude at large, if it can become at large. Like
Oh yeah, if
that's
we had
that's
like
kind of where
500
my
million
that's
people thinking like that, yeah, that'd be nuts.
it would be fucking nuts, and that's a new level of fucking humanity. Like that's collective consciousness there.
Mm-hmm.
That's our brains basically merging. Like that's
Ugly.
something else. That
Yeah.
that's totally that's your consciousness essentially leaving your brain and being out in the fucking world in a sense. Not physically, but
No,
like
but like, yeah,
if you think about it, most social situations are shared consciousness. Like we're in a
yep,
shared domain outside of ourselves.
yeah. If you go to a concert, guess what? Everyone's seeing that same concert from like, and
Yep.
like the person next to you, the person in the top row, they'll never forget that moment. Like you guys
Yep.
will all be saying the same story of the same night, the same stuff. Like you guys will never have met each other. You guys don't even know each
Yep.
other. Like
Yep.
you might even be different states, different countries, no matter what. But guess what? You guys have a shared experience, which links you
Now,
two guys for it links you guys for the rest of your lives without knowing it.
guys on fucking Patrick's podcast, they don't have a very optimistic view about
Humanity.
how things are gonna go. Yeah, yeah, overall. And but they see it from like a mathematical perspective, like
Yeah.
systems perspective. They talk about a lot of shit that I fucking never heard of.
Mm.
Um, but I don't know. I am not pessimistic about humanity overall, and I think pessimism is a problem. Cynicism is a problem,
For sure.
and it's all it for real though.
I
Think
tend
about
I think for like
think about how
humanity, I
your
think we're good.
interactions are in real life compared to fucking internet. It's night and day. We
Yeah.
are different beings on the internet. Why? What gives us that? What?
Because
That's
you
where.
could be mean for no reason, and you can get in bubbles. That's the big difference. I think like you could talk shit and not worry about getting punched in the face, and then if you believe in stuff, you could find a billion people that believe in it, so you get in your bubbles. That's what sucks with the internet. That's the big difference between like growing up in the
Well, it's
'80s and
like
early '90s.
overall, like it doesn't even matter. Like you just view people and yourself differently. Even yourself.
Well, yeah,
Like,
because
you
again,
become
I was
something
telling like
different.
somebody, like the reason why kids have all these mental diseases because if you're a good-looking girl or boy in your school, you know it's whatever. But like when you start comparing yourself to 300 million looking good-looking boys and girls, now you know your self-esteem, your confidence, all this shit
Yeah.
drops because
Hmm.
you know. And
Yep.
think about back in the day, you'd never see those people because you didn't have the internet, so you wouldn't know. You see your kids for the next like maybe 2 cities, maybe at most. That was your
Yep.
world. Like I said, now
Yeah.
you can
Like
connect with. Like I said, I can talk to a dude from China right now, or whatever,
that's how you get shit like body dysmorphia. Like, oh, I got this
all that
flaw. I
shit. A
look
lot
like
of your
shit.
mental
Yeah. Yeah.
diseases and whatever you want to call it, a lot of.
Yep.
It's got to be way hard to be a kid now with that kind of mentality, and people wonder why there's like more shootings in schools and shit. Well, guess what? Kids are probably way more depressed because they got to compare themselves to all the best of everybody around the world now.
A lot of kids fucking bully them and all that shit. Like
That's
bullying
too.
has
No, yeah.
entered the virtual
Bad home
space.
life. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of variables for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think the kids are gonna be all right overall, but
Yeah, but I mean,
internet makes a big. It
did you go to
changes
school?
things
Did you
so
go to
much.
school with shooting drills?
No, I went to Coon Rapids, right?
No, that's
So
fine. But they did later because Taylor that works at our bar, she's like 10 years, so she's probably like 28, so 10 years younger than me, and she was like, "We had fucking, you didn't have to do evacuation shooting drills and shit." Like, no, not at all. Like my friends brought guns to school, we just didn't touch them because we knew what the fuck, like, no, we're not the same. But it's sad when you think about it. It's like, so what's that? Like from like 2000, like from 2014 on, they all the kids have to do, shooter drills. It's fucking crazy.
yeah, that is
Something they
fucking.
shouldn't have to do. But again, it changes the psyche of that whole
Fire
age.
drill. What else do we do?
Yeah, we had
That
fire
was about
drills,
it.
and that was about it. I had when I was in I think 7th or 8th grade, a teacher did a fake bomb threat at our school, so we got out like a half a day early.
We had like a pipe bomb threat at the middle school. I
Did you
remember.
pipe
There
bomb?
was like a pipe bomb, like I think at the like somewhere in the fucking lawn of the fucking apartments across the street.
Hmm. Some tweaker.
Yeah, yeah, I guess a fucking pipe bomb.
Mm.
But that was like right after, like not that long after 9/11 and shit.
Oh yeah, man.
So you're 2 years older than me, so you would have been in 8th grade when I was in 6th.
Yep. Yep. 9/11 was 8th grade for me.
Yeah, 6th grade. Or was it 7th? No, it would have
It
been
was
6th.
2001.
Yeah, it was. I remember going to Mrs. Goldman's class because she was my
Yeah.
fucking
I went to
homeroom or
Catholic school,
whatever.
so my first class was religion class. We went to religion class, and then we all went to the library.
Oh, okay. Yep.
That's what we did, and then we watched it all for like 4 or 5 hours, and then we finally left.
Like, oh man, look at that plane hit the building.
Yeah, like I said, I was in the library. I'll never forget. The second one happened.
That shit's wild.
But all right, I gotta go to work tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna head out though.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah, brother. But always good talking to you.
Yep. Hell yeah, man.
All right,
I'll
brother.
see you.
Hell yeah.
Night,
Have a good
man.
one. Peace out.